I'm my beloved and he is mine. His banner over me is love. I'm my beloved and he is mine. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. He leads me to his banqueting table. His banner over me is love. He walks me to his banqueting table. His banner over me is love. He leads me to his banqueting table. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. Yashaya is the rock of my salvation. His banner over me is love. Yashaya is the rock of my salvation. His banner over me is love. Yashaya is the rock of my salvation. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love.
Praise AHAYAH. Children of Israel are here. Mount Hor. We're going inside the tomb to pray for our brother Aaron. Holy land, Kadesh. We are in Kadesh. And as you know, Mount Hor is at the border of the children of Israel heritage. So we're still within the borders, but this is one of the borders.
Qasash, AHAYAH, sham, AHAYAH, malak with ka, sabat zawanka, hayasha, baharatza, kawahaya, bashamaya. Nothing lanawa, lakan kayawan, wasalat nawa, khawaf nawa, kasalat nawa, kawaf nawa, thabayan nawa, minasayu. Kayalaka hamlakwa wahala wahasapara wa awalam.
Which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. Amen. Praise the Lord.
All glory and praise to AHAYAH, AHAYAH, Yashaya, Qasash. my soul. AHAYAH is in control. Satan on my trail, but I'm singing all is well. He's attacking every day, but I'm watching while I pray. No matter the attack, I won't turn back. This means war. This means war. This generation is coming soon. This means war. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. This means war. This is war. I walked out of Babylon. Yashaya's armor on. I praise on my lips. Joy strut on my hips. No weapon formed will prosper. Cause AHAYAH is my father. No matter the attack, I won't turn back. This means war. Yashaya's coming soon, my savior. You're glorious in the arrow. You shadowing with greatness and strength. Who's the coming from Edom? With thy garments of Bozrah. You're glorious in the arrow. You shadowing with greatness and strength. Know what it is. Yeah. This is war. This is war. Yashaya's coming soon. Get ready, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Get out of Babylon and get within the waters. Cause you can't have my family. You can't have the victory. Yashaya brings them in. Yashaya, Yashaya, Yashaya. Break this thing down. Praise the AHAYAH. Praise the AHAYAH. Praise the AHAYAH. Hey. Come on, love. We're gonna do the Jordan stride. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, we're gonna use the Jordan stride.
He's bringing all the nations to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yes. The valley of decision. Praise AHAYAH. Whose side are you on? Are you coming to the valley of Jehoshaphat? The valley of decision? Whose side are you on?
On the day of first what they call the Pentecost, they were all in a place, they were all on one accord, and sound came down from heaven like a rushing mighty wind, and it filled the whole house. What's been rushing in? You don't have to wonder what's going on inside. It's the power of the Holy Spirit is what I'm singing about. Power in the house, I'm singing about. Power in the
stuff. Oh my gosh. Shalom. Praise AHAYAH Bahashim Yashaya. I have to, my mouse is working so slow. I give all glory, honor, and praise to AHAYAH Bahashim Yashaya. Wak Kodash Wak. Shalom, Israel. Bless and greetings. Welcome to Nappy here, Chronicles. Chronicalizing the awakening of the children of Israel. And baby, is it going down. Praise AHAYAH Bahashim Yashaya. I hope you are all well. And I pray you are making your way out of Babylon. I pray. It's time to go. It's been time to go. But so the title of this program is War of the Jews, yeah, and Agents Amongst Israel, Part 2. Because many moons ago, I did my first Agents Amongst Israel, calling out the foolishness that's going on in Babylon, and everybody wondering why. Like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? What's going on? Well, let me tell you, it's infiltration, guys, on the ultimately highest level. I mean, it's like sell out to the nth degree. People are selling out left and right. They've given up, on our people. They've given our people up. And the scriptures tell us all about it. In Matthew 24, Christ tell you, do not be deceived. When the disciples asked Yashaya, what will be the sign of your coming? Yashaya, Christ, told them, let no man deceive you. So Christ has never lied. And I mean, his words are exasperated because it's nothing but lies. It's nothing but deception. It's nothing but total deceit going on in America with the agents amongst Israel. Now, when I initially did Agents Amongst Israel, praise AHAYAH Bahashim Yashaya, I had no clue that it was going to be to this level and this degree. I just stumbled, and it wasn't really by chance. AHAYAH had let me get the understanding about the holy days and how important they were. For those of you who know my story, I drill this because this is how I come to know how, the holy days were wrong, that there had to be infiltration. It was the Most High who put it on my spirit, started showing me about these holy days in the Bible, which I never knew of. I was doing Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter like everybody else. And he sent me to a church in California who kept the holy days. So, and then I started to, he put it on my spirit because I knew nothing. I can't take no credit at all because I knew nothing. It was the Most High pouring this stuff into me to search and seek and seek and seek. Lo and behold, it comes out that we have holy days and a whole calendar, 364 days instead of the 365 that, we've been taught in America. And it's just been a spiraling effect ever since. So I'm here in Jordan because Jordan is the safe place according to the Bible, or to the Most High. Everybody can see this destruction coming down, but nobody knows what to do or where to go. I'm here to tell you, Jordan is the safe place. There is a place that the Most High said that he's going to, protect us within his borders. And that's where you need to get to. If you are awakening, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, and you know that something is terribly wrong and you need to get out of harm's way, know that Jordan is the safe place. But I must add that it is the safe place, but you must be really ready to give up all that you've learned in Babylon. It's nothing but a wicked cesspool of sin. And there's nothing to do with the Most High AHAYAH. And so you must be willing to put all that you've learned in Babylon down and start to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of AHAYAH that was given to Moses and that was given to Yashaya Christ, that we can now, because Christ shed his blood for this. This is why Christ died, so that we can come back under the fold. We can come back. So this is your opportunity. I pray you take it. Get out of Babylon, and I pray you get within the borders. And Jordan is the safe place. The holy mountain is here. This is where Most High gave Moses the 10 Commandments and all the other things when he was dealing with the children of Israel. Okay, so with that said, I wanted to go into the war of the Jews. I wanted to go into the infiltration that's going on. Now you saw on my thumbnail, I had put up these guys, and I don't know, unless you're into the hip hop world, which I'm very into music, the rap music, I've always from a kid knew that rap music, hip hop music was our music, and that it was given to us by the Most High. Now, what it has turned into since is a whole nother thing. I'm not advocating that. Now Satan has kind of taken over it and is using it as a weapon against the children of Israel. But initially it was like our voice, our cry out to the Most High and to the world, letting the world know, indirectly, because see, we don't even know still, our people are still waking up, don't even know who we are. According to the Bible, we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel, that who Christ was sent to for this very moment, for us to be awakening and coming out and getting within the borders. This is why Christ came. He came to for the lost sheep and to tell us who we are, to warn us and to bring us back to the Father. He had to die. He had to die, shed his blood for us in order for this covenant to be fulfilled, so that we can now awaken and come back to the Most High at the end times. So we're in the end times, brothers and sisters, and it's happening right before your eyes. People are being awakened. People are realizing who they are, and a lot of them are coming out of America, and they're being dispersed, throughout the four corners of the earth. We've been throughout the four corners, but now we're in the time of the awakening, and Esau is trying to sideswipe this awakening by using all the technology to distract us, witchcraft and sorcery, high levels, so that our people wouldn't know, how, from what's up from down. This is what's happening with our people right now. So this is why it's important for me to come out and make these videos and tell our people, because there's a lot of people who are still just waking up. There's a lot of people who've been awake and they're seeing what's going on. They're going back to sleep or going back to their everyday life instead of getting up and getting out of Babylon, like initially was put on their spirit to do. See, a lot of people was awakening to this truth. They know that they're Israel. They know they're supposed to come out, but they're kind of being lulled back to sleep with everyday life, with work. But see, the Most High calling us out, and our people have to get out of Babylon, because Babylon the Great is falling. It's falling right before your eyes. And you're in a war, and it's a war of deception, and that's what Christ was telling you. Be not deceived. Be not deceived is very important. So if y'all see here, I got my book here. This is my other precept book. And, I put a lot of information in here. I print out the scriptures, I quickly went through it. I just put some pictures and stuff, some Bible pictures and things. And I will print out certain videos that I watch from a gathering, Christ Church. That's where I get all my information from. I'm not tossed to and fro. I don't watch a whole lot of Israelite groups at all. I stick to one, and this is it. But unfortunately, in the midst of this awakening, Most High revealed that there is infiltration. And this is what I've been talking about all these years about the calendar, the 364-day calendar, how our holy days are so important that we must keep them at the right time. Like the Bible says, it's an appointed time. Okay, but I pointed out how there's infiltration within the Hebrew Israelite community. They all have been taken down, all of them. And so that's why it's so hard to get this information, clarity on the information. And I have a video on my channel. When you go to a Gathering in Jordan channel, and I'll put the link in the description box, you can go there if you never saw the video. It talks about how one of the brothers in one of the Israelite groups confessed that there has been infiltration after all these years. Now, I've been talking about this infiltration for 15 years, y'all. And I've been out of America since 2008. I'm here in Jordan more than like 15, 16 years now. And I've been talking about this infiltration. This is what the Most High was showing me. And he told me to speak, daughter, speak. So I'm here to tell you, there is a safe place. Get out of America. Babylon the Great is fallen. America will be destroyed. Jordan is the safe place. Get out, get out, get out. Okay, so on my video, I'm going to put this in the description box. There's a video on there telling you that one of the brothers from the Hebrew Israelite community told exactly blow by blow how they were infiltrated, how they infiltrated the Hebrew Israelite groups. So that's why the information is all over the place. That's why they can't agree on one name, one doctrine, nothing. And the brother tells you that they were supposed to, hide some of the information. Don't give all the information. And this is why I understand now the Most High sent me out and put me in Jordan and told me to speak and tell the people where to go. There is a safe place at the end times. America will be destroyed according to the Bible. America is Babylon and will be destroyed. And what you're seeing now, witnessing now with Trump and the terrorists and all this stuff that's going on is Babylon the Great is falling, is falling. And it's a habitation of devils. That's what Revelation 18:4 tells you. It's reeking of witchcraft. They have done witchcraft and sorcery. That's why the homosexual, thing is so prevalent in America. The transgender, all that stuff is witchcraft, brothers and sisters, being put on our people. They are switching genders and all that's witchcraft. And this is why it's so great in America. Now, it's being spread throughout the earth. But America, that is owning this stuff. It's witchcraft. And along with all the other stuff. So that's why the Most High has got to destroy that place. Not only because it's killed all the prophets, it's been killing our people since the inception. Since we came off those boats, they've been killing us, doing us dirty. And people don't wonder why. Why us? Why are we being treated? We are the lost sheep of the tribe of Israel. We are the people that Christ came back for. And it's 12 tribes of us. And, you got to go into that. The Venezuelans, the Mexicans, the Indians, Gad, the Hispanics, Ephraim. There's a whole 12 tribe of us that we are the target of destruction. And this is why the Most High said, come out of her, my people. America has to be destroyed. That place is finished. And that war with Iran is brewing. Iran will be the country that takes America down ultimately. China's in the midst of it, North Korea and all that, but it will be Iran. And this is what's happening. It's happening right before our eyes. And I'm just here to warn you, get out, get out, get out. For those who have ears to hear and eyes to see, Jordan is the safe place. Okay. So when you look at my thumbnail, you see. Now, you may not know these men if you don't really watch the hip hop community, if you're not big on what's going on. I'm a musician. I love hip hop, so I follow it. Hold on. Excuse me. Bless me. Praise AHAYAH. So I follow the hip hop community. I follow rap music because I love it. I know that it was our voice. It was our cry out to the Most High. And I knew it from a kid, and I always loved it. So, and I still love it, even though they've demonized it, they've used it against us, But this is what Christ warned us about in Matthew 24 and also in Revelations. He told us that they will be throwing us in prison, throwing the men mainly. But as you can see what's going on, these men are being thrown in prison, just like the Bible said, like they're being indicted. And I wanted to talk about this today because Revelation speaks about it, that many will be thrown in prison and things like that. And sure, lo and behold, that's why nobody can say this Bible ain't true. They cannot say this Bible is not emphatically true. Everything that Christ and the Most High put in it is true, and it's coming to pass. So people could try to act like they atheists all they want. They playing themselves. If you try to act like you're an atheist and you don't see that every word in this Bible is coming to pass. So I wanted to talk about agents amongst Israel because, oh my goodness, guys, they are using these laws, these built up laws to put these men in prison on RICO charges and all kind of wickedness that they have conjured up, witchcraft, like they're voodoo and all this stuff. And they have gotten these men into these precarious situations. But I mean, it couldn't happen to them if they wasn't operating against the Most High, if they wasn't being so wicked. They're going along with this wickedness. And this is why this stuff is happening to them, because instead of them, our men repenting and coming back to the Most High AHAYAH, instead of them doing that, no, like that is the last thing on these people's mind. They just really want to delve deep into the depths of Hades with the wickedness that they divulge. Like they're getting involved in straight wickedness. Telling on each other, selling each other out, killing each other. I mean, if they're not walking around all effeminate, wearing dresses and makeup, if they're not doing that, then they're on the other far left, and they just total wicked gangsters killing each other. It's just such wickedness that's going on in the earth. And it's coming a lot through our people not repenting, not seeking the Most High, not coming back to the Father. He's crying out to his people, come back, come back, come back. And it's just like total, utterly confusion and refusal. They refuse to come back to the Most High. They refuse to come back under the Lord's statutes and commandments. And they just, they're just going, doing whatever. Okay, hold on a second, because okay. I have this video I want to see. I want to watch. I want you to see. Because one of the brothers, this brother, his name is Big Homie C or something like that. He is a security for the elite, hip hop artists and things like that. So this guy works security. So that means he must be like high level police officer, probably working for the feds. I mean, it's just what it is, right? So his name is Big Homie CC. And I'm going to play a video of an interview he did. Now, guys, I told you guys I'm trying to get monetized now, trying to, get things going. So it's hard to play these videos and, play all this stuff that I be normally playing and trying to get monetized too. So I don't know how this is going to work. I kind of just put the picture up and let the, let the audio play. But I don't even know the rules to the extent how much I can play. I don't even know, guys. So we're going to try and see, but I hope this doesn't really affect, the monetization. I'm going to come back with the book because this is, I took some pages from the War of the Jews from the book of Josephus. Okay, this very important book. If you don't have it, you need to get it, download it you can get the PDF, but it gives you insight of what's going to happen because the scriptures tell us there's nothing new under the sun in Ecclesiastes 1:9. Nothing new is under the sun. What was, will be, and what will be has already been. Brothers and sisters, they're using the same tactics that they've used to take us down in Jerusalem when we were in Jerusalem the first time. So there's nothing new under the sun. So that's why we need to go in and read some of the War of the Jews, some scriptures in Matthew 24 and Daniel's. We're going to go here a little, there a little, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how the scriptures tell us to get understanding. So I'm going to do that. But first, I want to let you hear this interview. It's very important because this brother is giving a lot of information on infiltration and the feds and how these brothers, they're federal agents. America is engulfed with infiltration, you guys. Don't, fool yourself into thinking that this is not going on a very, very high level. I already blew the casket off with the infiltration with the Hebrew Israelite community. It's done. It's a wrap. Y'all know it. Anybody trying to act like they don't know what's going on, you're fooling yourself, and it's full of delusion. It's infiltration on a very high level. All the Hebrew Israelite camps are taken down, and they are the ones with the information. They're the only ones. That's why they were taken down. They were taken down because they were giving the information of who we are, how we got to America, why we were, going through what we were going through. The Hebrew Israelite community had all the answers, and this is why they were targeted and taken down very early on. And one group out of all the groups is the one who gave the main information on Yashaya, on Christ. He has the doctrine of Christ, and he's been held up in America, infiltrated to a very high level. And this is why the Most High sent a woman out and giving you understanding on the calendar, how it's been one day off for years. They've been playing games with not telling you where to go, that Jordan is the safe place, that there is a place that the Most High has set apart for his people, and that's Jordan. And it's modern day Jordan, Edom, Moab, and Ammon. It's in the Middle East, but it's North Africa. And this is the place where the Most High dealt with Moses and the children of Israel, and he will do it again because there's nothing new under the sun. The Most High said, what was, will be. He's going to do the same thing again. You must get to Jordan. This is the safe place. He said he will protect those found within his borders. So Jordan is within the Most High borders, but it's not Israel. Because see, we are not to be in Israel right now because the small hats has defiled the land. They've taken over the land. They're doing all kind of witchcraft and sorcery in the land. So we're not to go in the land yet. Christ will bring us in. We are on the outskirts within the borders in Jordan. So if you didn't know that, you know it now. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, share the video so that other people can get this information, because there's such a like a hole. They banned my videos. I get like 2 views now. Like they really like trying to shut me down. But guys, I'm gonna always keep speaking because this is what the Most High told me to do. I don't care if it's 1 view. I don't care if it's 0 view. Please, I ask you to support and help in this manner. Help the children of Israel find their way back to the Most High. Jordan is the safe place. I'm the only one on YouTube talking like this, that there is a place. People are running to Africa. They're running all over the place. And there's only one safe place, and it's Jordan. Get here. This is where Moses was given the law, and we will sojourn here again. While all the wars is going on around us, the Most High is going to protect the children of Israel in this same land again. Get to Jordan. Okay, and you can contact me Okay. Let me see. Somebody's leaving a message. She said, Elder Sikava says, sis, all praise to the Most High. You telling your age, old school rap. Thanks for educating me on the calendar. I'm in the continent in Johannesburg teaching the calendar. Praise AHAYAH, brother. That's a blessing. Bless you, bless you, bless you. That's awesome. Our people need to know, and hopefully you'll make it here to Jordan. I hope you get here, brother, because this is the place. Because a lot of people are fleeing into Africa, and but just know that Jordan is the place because the scripture said he will bring them out. Like a lot of people are going to get out of Babylon and they'll run out, but they won't make it to the Holy Land. So you got to make it back to Jordan. This is the area. Okay, but praise AHAYAH for teaching the calendar. We're going to all be on the right calendar, praising AHAYAH on one accord. Eventually it's going to happen. So thank you, Elder Sekaba. Bless you, brother. Praise AHAYAH. Okay, so I wanted to go into the war of the Jews. What's happening now? It's a little spin on it because I'm talking about the hip hop community, but it just goes to show you, brothers and sisters, how engulfed this infiltration is. It's like even guys, let me tell you, these YouTube channels, these big YouTube channels, they are taken down. They are under the government's reign. CIA, or alphabet boys. They're all entwined and they're using the information, like when they be interviewing these people, they'll use the information against them and then put them under RICO charges and putting them in jail. I mean, it's just, either they're paid and made by the system or they're going to be taken down. So it lets you know. Now, I'm going to show you the video, but if you don't know who these people are, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. The guy, Big Homie CC, and on the thumbnail, you see his name. He's a security guard for high-level entertainers like Diddy and, those kind of people. He'll be security. So, he's either a police officer or, but he's probably a federal agent. So he's watching and this and that. So now he's on YouTube telling everything, right? And he's giving away a lot of information, but they're trying to act like they just haphazardly was in these situations, but it's a big takedown. So he gives a lot of information. So I'm going to show you the video. But then there's this guy also called Whack 100 out of California. He's another big, everybody knows him in the hip hop community. He's on these big platforms like No Jumper. This guy named Adam 22, who's an Edomite. He's like another DJ Vlad. If y'all watch Vlad TV, where they're like informants, and getting all these rap guys to come on their show, and then these rap guys end up arrested because they talking too much, telling things that they've done. They talking to the informants, and then they're put under RICO charges. So they can't win for losing, our brothers, and everybody is just chasing money because they're giving out money and paying these brothers to be in these circles, and then they end up arrested. So that's what happened recently with this guy called Big U. He's another guy from LA. Now is Whack 100 and Big U, both from LA. It seems that Whack 100 was the federal agent. So now Big U has been arrested and he's put under RICO charge. But Big U also seems to be responsible for Nipsey Hussle's death. Supposedly, Nipsey Hussle was a big up-and-coming rapper who was doing big things in California. He got, he got unalived, and they're trying to blame Big U for it because Big U was his manager. So, it's a lot going on, but there's a lot to this story because he also, Nipsey Hussle also got entangled with this woman who her father, she's a mixed woman, who her father is, a small hat, Ashkenazi small hat. So it was like he was under surveillance by them, and he was, they was watching him. They put him with a woman, and probably just using all this information against him. So you never know which way this story goes. He definitely was taken out, but they try to pin it on Big U. But it could have been that he was also a sacrifice, for fame, for somebody else. like it could have been Diddy or Jay-Z or, any one of them, because that's how big of a case it was. So, but I just want to go into about this video because he's really explaining the level of infiltration within the hip hop community. Within Esau has not left no stone unturned. They have infiltrated the whole thing in America. And this is why our people have got to get out of there. Y'all are playing yourself at this point, sticking around there. The food is contaminated. I mean, everything on every level is nothing but damaged good. And that's what the Bible said in Revelation 18:4. Every foul spirit and unclean and hateful bird is trapped in America, in Babylon, like a vortex. They're using witchcraft and sorcery, keeping the people still, trying to act like everything is normal, and all Hades is breaking loose, guys. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to play the video. Hold on. And I don't know how much I can play without it being an issue, but this is fair use, educational purposes, so that you can see and grasp the levels of what's going on. Be patient. He gives a lot of information. And then towards the end, guys, this other brother comes on with even more information. But, I don't know how much of it I can play with. I'll keep stopping and we'll see. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Because why would I expose certain things and blow the lid off of it and then be somewhere being complicit with these activities?
Okay, so he's saying that because now people are accusing him of certain things that he's been trying to expose. So, and it could be true. I mean, because they be agents, they be doing stuff. They have to do certain rituals. You never know, which way this thing goes. So I'm just to give you, and this is just the beginning. Hold on.
I've been trying to tell people that there's a conspiracy going on.
Real life. That shit ain't real life.
It ain't real life.
Real life street stuff.
Dangerous. I'll come in and start demonstrating. Underneath that, because he ain't no pushover. He a tough cake toucher. You feel me? Like, he get on some gangster shit with you. You didn't want to, you feel me? See what I'm saying? Because
You talking about Puffy?
why would I expose certain things and blow the lid off of it and then be somewhere being complicit with these activities? I've been trying to tell people that there's a conspiracy going on. Once word got out about what me and my team did about combating human trafficking, and after I did the Hillbilly show out there in California, things have been very, very strange. This is my proof that there's a conspiracy. Because, throughout history, my reign of terror on weirdos is solidified. I might have been, firearms may have been pointed at certain people for doing funny things, you know what I'm saying? But that right there is complete nonsense. Like, they don't got their facts right. Like, have I been in altercations with them? Yeah. I've been telling everybody. I've been saying it. But that right there, that's weird. That's not how all of that took place. You feel me? I never worked for the Zest Monster, man, not one time. Not one time that I ever worked for dude. I never got no check from him. You feel me? But that African dude that be with him, that bald head dude, he ain't no joke. You can't play with him. He hit me in the head with a bottle. He a problem. So the dum had to come out with him. You feel me?
Because people question kind of your history about Diddy.
Right.
You have been, as far as around people who's been around him, you have been around situations where people maybe were about to go either meet him, go to a party, do something. How far in the vicinity were you from as far as a party, just a studio, just end up just being in the mix of what he is?
Yeah, so I only seen the guy as I'm being the protection for somebody that attended the events. as far as getting close to him, yeah, I could have reached out and slapped him if I wanted to. You feel me? Like very that close. Like I never ever did business with him. So like I have seen him several times because the who's who that they run in certain crowds. You feel me? Like the first part of his parties be cool. It'd be a normal socializing mixer. It's the different layer of the party where things start to get murky. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, that type of stuff I wasn't involved in. When the vampires started walking in, you know what I'm saying, like the white guy with the sticky hair, and you know, the male sex workers, you know, cake's finna start getting touched. I'm going to the car now. You know what I'm saying? Call me if it's dangerous. You know, I'll come in and start demonstrating. Underneath that, because you know, he ain't no pushover. He a tough cake toucher. You feel me? Like, he get on some gangster shit with you. You didn't wanna, you feel me? Get a little physical. It's like, man, hold on, dude.
Tough cake touchers.
He
Wow.
a tough cake toucher on bro Graham. He is.
Did you ever run into Chopper City?
Man, bro, you know, I was working at this strip club in Vegas called Club Lacey's, and I had some, man, as soon as he walked in, he seen me. I was like, man, what's up? We greet each other. He had tipped me $100 and said, just follow me throughout the night. You feel me? So I would see him up there. He was a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people showed him respect, shit like that. I definitely had encounters with him in Vegas, working at that club, Lacey's Gentlemen's Club, for sure.
Yeah, because he mentioned that what he was kind of saying was like the money kind of made Diddy gangster. Can you see that?
Right. So what I realized is like a lot of times in that industry, the money gave guys power and influence, not their reputation and the history of things they've done or their affiliations. So, and then, you know, when you drinking alcohol all day,
right,
popping pills, you got 20 million in the bank, you got security,
right?
You know, you're around all these tough gangster rapper people all the time,
right?
You may start thinking you like that.
Right.
And you gotta be kind of tough. You ask a grown man, you feel me, pull their drawers down, you feel me? So you see all them guys crying in that interview?
Right.
With Vlad? He taking everybody cakes, vicious.
Right.
They all just going for it. Goofy as hell. Yeah, goofy as hell.
Chopper City also mentioned, he said,
Okay, so I just wanted to make a comment because he's kind of telling, you know, like everything that he knows, which will also put the hammer on Diddy even further. So, you know, all this stuff is going to play in hand of, you know, Diddy's fate, even though it seems like they don't even have a lot of information to even stick. And they're talking about he may make bail now, you know, so they really trying to put Diddy under the jail. But a lot of this information is so conjured up because, you know, I think I had mentioned in one of my other videos that Jay-Z and Diddy were trying to form a political party. And, you know, the higher ups didn't appreciate that. So, you know, he started suing the liquor company that made him millions and billions of dollars. And so now all of a sudden he's going through all this stuff. But, and, you know, they got guys like this who come on now and starts talking, just like Gene Deal was also Puffy's bodyguard. He was Puff's bodyguard, and he's doing a whole lot of talking. And now this guy is a security for, you know, these entertainers. He's doing a whole lot of talking. But a lot of these people be federal agents, and they're trying to act like they just normal security or this and that. But they, you know, they here to help push the whole narrative and get whoever they want out the way. So this is what you're hearing with this guy. You know, he's claiming innocence and like he was just security. But it's much probably deeper than that. You know, he's telling. And just like Vlad TV and Adam 22, all these high level platforms ran by the small hats. You know, these are small hats. Vlad 22 is a small hat. And so is, Vlad
DJ Vlad is a small hat, and Adam 22 is a small hat. And they be inviting all our brothers on, and they go for it hook, line, and sinker, and they be on these shows talking and telling. And that's why the young man who's now arrested and being investigated, he's on trial for Tupac's murder. But then something else came out that they saying that the NOI, the Nation of Islam, is maybe responsible for taking down Tupac. And I think that's somebody probably paid for that information to be put out there to distract. Again, Diddy, is getting cleared of that because he was supposed to be the one who paid the $1 million. So it's a lot of wickedness going on, guys. I mean, this thing is so high level, and our people are just all in the midst of it, being sucked in through misinformation, disinformation, sitting still doing these podcasts, and also with the DJ academics, the one who just did Kanye West's interview as Kanye West was fleeing America. At least he got some good sense, and I pray he don't come back to America ever again, and not play with them, because that's what happened to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson fled and got out and went to Bahrain for maybe a year or two or something, but then he ended up going back to Babylon, and then he was unalived at that point once he came back. So I pray Kanye don't play around with that and don't go back to Babylon, because they're going to get him, for the information that he's putting out. But it's such a high level of deception. And look at this guy here with these glasses on. He don't want you to read his eyes. He's, it's just a bunch of wickedness, that these are the men of the Most High, who are supposed to be the protectors of the women and children in our nation. They so caught up with nonsense, they don't even know what's going on. It's just unreal and unbelievable.
When you get to a certain wealth, right? He said, what rich people look at cocaine like it's candy.
For sure.
It's not taboo.
Not taboo at all.
Yeah, it's just, this is candy.
It's normal.
It's normal.
You gotta think about it. One bag of it is like $200. You feel me? You can't have no cocaine habit if you're not getting money.
Right.
You feel me? An ounce of weed, you can get an ounce of weed, what, $200?
Right.
I don't know if I don't even know if my microphone was on during that whole rant, but I hope so.
An ounce of that? $2,000? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
depending on, certain little levels and differences, but you can't have that type of habit. And you got to be a very mentally strong person to have a habit like that. And your moral compass don't change as well. So,
right. Do you think that cocaine could have played a lot in the way Diddy moved?
No, I think it's ecstasy. Because, all of the guys I knew who did ecstasy a long period of time, all got caught having sex with a tranny.
Right.
You got to think about it, but before the X pills,
yeah, right.
A lot of niggas turned gay after that.
Right.
That's a fact.
What do you think is in ecstasy that makes niggas want to explore more past what the usual is?
So the chemical breakdown, MDMA is what it is. They used to prescribe MDMA to married couples to spice up their relationship. They used to give it to soldiers who had PTSD to treat them. So, they call it the love drug.
You see, what was that, Bad Boys 2, where Martin Lawrence, he popped that at the wheels.
I saw that.
Yeah, so
So you've been doing ecstasy 20 years?
Gotta do it.
It's cracking. You go in his crib, you know what's going down.
I have to ask, with that lawsuit coming out, just yesterday, I think yesterday or maybe today, a lawsuit, one lawsuit got overturned or dismissed, whatever. So it's starting to come down where the lawsuits are just not holding. Do you see more of that coming? Because I think Diddy just gets hit. He got hit with like so many at one time. Do you feel like some of these are just witch hunts and they're going to get knocked down? Judges going to be like, man, y'all just everybody chasing the dollar bill right now?
There's definitely more to come. I got another one coming. Yeah, it's this guy, like he don't got these fingers on his hand right here, and he's saying I'm the reason he don't got them. So, you know, I know that's coming soon. He was.
It's just, when Diddy's lawsuit, I mean not Diddy, but Jay-Z's lawsuit got dropped by the Tony Busby guy, with, you know, the whole 13-year-old girl stuff, and she's saying that I was put up to doing it. I remember we talked about it, but did you see even that? Like, man, this is just...
I said this in a Cam Capone interview. I said I said it was gonna go away. I know the games these people play, bro. I done been with so many different celebrities. A lawsuit to come. I just seen the little $55,000 payment go out so many times because it's cheaper to just settle for that than fight it over a period of time. But when I seen Hov come out and say, I'm not giving you a red cent, and it's not a letter drafted by an attorney, I seen him, he wrote this on his notes on his own, and he said, if this is the case, charge me criminally. I knew it was gonna have to go away. And now you see he didn't countersued them for $20 million. He got money to fight you all year long for years.
Okay, so I just want to say that you know, so he's just giving information on, you know, the Diddy case and you know, Jay-Z. And I don't even know how this Busby guy, he should have been stripped of his license after it came out that she said that she was coerced with the information. But, you know, they still dragging this thing, kicking this can down the road. Why? Because they're keeping the children of Israel still watching videos, watching this nonsense when we supposed to be preparing and getting out of Babylon. This is why all this stuff is going on, brothers and sisters. Y'all must know that. They are using these things to keep our people engaged with a whole bunch of nonsense. This is all they're doing. They're keeping our people engaged with this stuff. They know that nothing is going on with that case with Jay-Z, but he's still filing motions and still, you know, he should have been stripped of his license after the shenanigans with that woman claiming, you know, that they raped her with all that wrong information that was given. But no, they still kicking that can down the road, keeping people engaged, you know. So the new recent thing now, and I just mentioned it, I want to mention it again, that now the Nation of Islam is supposed to be responsible for the unalivement of Biggie, you know, rapper Biggie Smalls, that somebody paid to knock him off. It's just a mess, y'all. And it's just so much wickedness. But he's giving this information, and I have to stop it and go it. Hopefully that'll help. But let's see some more other things he goes into.
At the time, I knew it wasn't gonna go nowhere. He too calculated, bro.
That's crazy.
You don't get to that billionaire status and you ain't on point, man.
Well, Kanye.
He was on
He
point.
was.
He feel like he fighting evil right now.
Yeah, he's fighting something.
I'm fighting. You going against the Matrix.
So the swastika, when he comes out with that, can you give us a little bit of...
See, the thing with that is this, right? The swastika throughout history was not used as a term of hate. You know, it was always a religious, supernatural symbol. It never became evil until the German guy, the Fuhrer, got his hands on it. Once he got the Fuhrer is Hitler's other name. So once he got his hands on it, that's when it became that ideology of hate and became anti-Semitic. The problem Kanye is having is he felt like he would call himself Michelangelo. You know, he told me he sees the world as art. He says the world is his muse. He sees the world in colors. So a lot of the things that he does is symbolic in nature. Like when you see him walking around with the Bianca Censori lady and she's naked, you know why he's doing that? Because during slavery times, white slave owners would walk around with the voluptuous built ladies naked like that everywhere as a sign of power. So he's doing that as a middle finger to them. He does a lot of things symbolically. Look, I I know a lot of people, man, and he one of them. So, he feels like he should have a lot more power and control with the money he's made and all of the designs he's created. And he feels like a certain group of people is holding him back from doing that, from getting more powerful. So he feel like he's fighting evil.
Does he really deserve more power, though? Has he actually acted as responsible as he should with the power that he already has?
Well, when you hear a guy say he's not bipolar, he's a superhero, that can make you question certain stuff. Like, all right, man. When you start seeing guys compare themselves to like certain people, and whenever I see an artist go to the Christian route, they always feel like they got problems with the Jewish community.
Right.
Because those people, if one Jewish person is going to spend $1 million, 10 Jewish people are going to get paid throughout that process. And they don't play about that. That's their culture. And he feels like that's stopping him from being a larger champion of industry.
He was crazy. When you mentioned Kanye, I want a quick side note. Do you know much about AB, Antonio Brown?
Yep.
I watched an interview last night. It was a young videographer talking about how he was hired to do a commercial for Donda Sports. And he said, he shot the commercial for AB and he never paid him his money.
Right.
He was like, he was trying to chase Antonio down for his bread. He said he ended up at the hotel with him. It was him, Kanye, and AB. He was in his room. He said he busted in the AB room and he was just coked out staring at the floor. And he's like, bro. And then he said they left us at a restaurant with a tab of $24,000.
Yeah. Okay. This is shit like that is why I came to the internet in the first place. Cause bro, you would go somewhere with some famous dudes and they were like, killer man, cover this right here and we'll pay you. I'm looking like, okay.
And that's what I was. Have you ever been in a situation where a famous person tried to play you or finesse you?
Yes, that's why I came to the internet, because I say once niggas see that I'm doing interviews, everybody who owed me money is gonna pay. But once my last 2 NDAs expired, I went to Camp Capone and I showed him all of my receipts. He was like, damn. He called me, look, can we do this tomorrow? He flew me out, rushed me out there. As soon as it dropped, I get a FedEx next day air of a check. I get that to my mama. She's like, son, you feel me? Because, bro, they play crazy games like that. I'll never forget. We at this restaurant called Mastro's. This one motherfucker ordered a bottle of wine that's like 18 grand by itself. One sip, it's nasty. I'm like, man, what is this? I'm like, hold on, man. I'm not putting on for this bottle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, man. So look, he give me a watch. He said, hold this watch, man. I left my card and all of this type of shit. I'm like, man, all right. So I started taking pictures of the watch. Shout out my jeweler, Neil. I'm sending it to Neil. Like, man, make sure this watch check out for what it is. The watch checked out. I'm like, okay, cool. All right. You feel me? I swipe my card. You feel me? The rest of the tab ended up being like 32 grand, something like that. So, I'm not making them type of purchases like that. So as soon as I swipe for it, decline, they call my phone. American Express called the phone. I got to send pictures of IDs and all kind of shit. So the shit went through and everything was smooth. I started hitting food up to get my count. You know what the man gonna tell me? He say I should be thankful that he allowed me to be his security. So a lot more things got taken from outside of the watch, you know what I'm saying? And like once those things was retrieved from him, we was able to. So people in his family ended up sending Dugar some money as well on the Zelle, and we was able to rectify that situation. But that happened all the time, bro. All the time. All the time.
Now, again, I don't want to put, to go back to Kanye, I don't want to put him on the spot, but I got to put him on the spot because Iggy Azalea went at him saying, I'm gonna let it out that I believe I don't say he tried to holler at her, but he was asking her dude at the time, this is years ago, but like, hey.
Okay, so I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to fast forward and go into the other part of this because, I watched this a couple of days ago, so I kind of forgot like what, parts was the good ones. So let me just fast forward to when he brings this other guy out, and they come out with more information, really pertaining to government and da 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 da. So I kind of got to like figure out where these parts at. But hold on, so I'll be right back. Let me figure this out. Let's see.
So listen to what I'm telling you. Y'all thought that a bunch of police was really gangster. And y'all thought I was supposed to crash out for them on camera and argue with them and raise my voice. I'm a real gangster. I ain't raising my motherfucking voice. I live by a code. I took an oath, man of honor and principles first. We gotta get Maverick up in his busting now.
Right, bro. And I just have to ask this because we right there. And this is definitely the last question. Why can you explain the Chicago mentality of calling your op every day?
Yeah, I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
Because if I call you every day, eventually you're gonna make a mistake. You can't be on point 24/7. I want to hear all the voices in the background. I want to see the cabinets on the wall so I can Google image search that. I want to see what clothes you got on. I want to hear how your mama sound. I want to make sure that you know that I'm thinking about you at all times. So now you're going to want to match that energy. So now you're going to start calling me. What up, brother? I miss you. Yeah, I'm trying to get next to you, man. Where you at? And you hear somebody in the background, shit, we over here at the spot. Hey, man, shut your ass up. Gotcha. We'll see you. Oh, bro. We'll catch you. That's what it's about, bro.
So that K.I. and King Von, was that?
Yeah. That's normal. That's how if it's real smoke, Wack and them block me. Loose block me, Wack block me, Iron 22 block me.
How'd they get your new number though?
I only had the phone 3 days, they called it. That's why I said, all right, this the law here. So look, let's play ball there.
I ain't gonna lie, when I seen you call that nigga, that shit was the wildest shit. That nigga called that nigga on FaceTime. I was like, Jesus.
Oh yeah, this the top level, man. We finna see what you really on. I'm gonna look you in your eyes and see if you really on that. So I can tell if you ain't. Cause if you was, we would bump.
Right.
Where I come from, bro, you say a man's name, you better be ready to die, shoot it out that day. Cause we will call you, we finna be over here, let's bump up. And we link. May the best man win. That's real gangster shit.
All right, well,
He's heating up.
Let's get to it. Man, we got to talk about the Maverick approach. As the Maverick approaches. As the Maverick approaches.
Y'all been asking for this.
We've been
asking for this.
Yeah, again.
Mama, there goes that man.
Sir. This is probably one of the most. Oh, yeah, get your mic on because this might be one of the most important conversations of 2025 right now. We're about to get to it.
All right.
Maverick, if you don't mind, for the people at home and for those that's on the channel that is new to you, go ahead and reintroduce yourself. Tell them what you do, the platform you're on.
Yeah, so Maverick Approach. I've been doing content for about 2 years now, and I'm really behind the scenes. I'm a businessman, entrepreneur, and whatnot, but I got into this for that same reason you just said. There's a shift happening. Okay?
Let's go.
All the goofies are leaving, and the real ones are coming in. I expose a lot of shit. This is why the CIA wants to hire me right now. And I'll tell you about that.
And I've seen proof of this. I got invited with him,
And this is why they call me, see, we call it conspiracy theories, right?
Right.
I'm a coincidence specialist.
For sure.
Coincidence specialist, I like that.
Okay, so now he just said that the CIA, the alphabet boys are trying to hire him because of the information and the content that he's putting out. So basically, he's just putting it out there. or he may have already been working for them, and they could be lying, because this is all. It's all. This is what it is in America. The whole dynamic is to keep the children of Israel, sewed up in, all into stuff that, instead of coming out of Babylon and coming back to the Most High, they got them so distracted on every other level, thinking about every other thing except the Most High and the signs that the Most High is putting out there. These are signs showing that America the Great is falling and that they need to come out. But they are so distracted. These are the men. These are our brothers. These are the ones who could do great for the children of Israel if their minds and hearts was on the Most High and seeking the Most High. But they rather stay and get caught up in Babylon and all kind of nonsense, instead of coming out and getting out and preparing for what is going to happen in America. But majority of them don't believe. And, the scriptures say they condemned already because they don't believe. So they barely, very rarely believe on the Most High. They're all into so much mysticism and all kind of wickedness. And you'll hear it when they talk. You'll hear what they, believe. And they'll read all these other books written by, men and Esau and, getting into their philosophies. But they will not pick up that Bible, because they've been bamboozled in believing that the Bible is tampered with. This is the first thing that come out of their mouth is tampered with, but then they'll pick up a book by Esau and swear by it. It's the foolishness and the nonsense on our brothers. We really can't blame no one else. It's our men, the choices that they're making. And this is why a lot of our men are not going to make it. They're not going to make it. They're going to be destroyed in this because the refusal to spiritually connect to the Most High. Okay, so let's just keep going.
Sure. Because there's a lot of fucking coincidences lately. And this is what BH does. This is what I do. So we got to connect the dots with people.
All right.
So that's what I do.
Let's get right to it. And I'm going to let, we probably, everybody got questions. Everybody got questions. But this is me personally, and this is kind of messing me up, and I'm kind of re-questioning my whole childhood and everything. Because I watched a video today that I always thought the moon landing was real. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like, it's on TV. They land on the moon. I mean, hell, there's satellites. I used to argue with guys. Satellites exist. Rocket ships. I mean, we live in Texas. NASA's right down the road.
Also, you can kind of gauge, by the conversation and by what they're talking about is where they're at spiritually. Like he's still talking about men walking on the moon. I mean, it's just, oh my goodness, the level of, dumbed downness is just unreal.
45. Right. I've seen rocket ships go into the sky. Right. Of course, we all remember Sally Jesse, Sally Ride, all that. Right. Columbia, we know all that. So I'm like, well, they landed on the moon back in the 60s. Then someone broke down like, bruh, there's a camera already there. Like,
and how did they get the footage back?
How did they get the footage back, bro? How did they get a rope? I mean, they had so many questions, which I guess I never looked at it.
So they said that he was the first man, Neil Armstrong was the first man to step out on the moon.
But they won't even come to the conclusion that all of it is fake. Like they ain't never even been on the moon. It's just fake. But they don't even want to come to that conclusion. And you'll know because he'll start like saying some books that he read. A lot of people like to, act like it's so, to be well read in these books of this wickedness that these people be putting out. You don't know what's true and what's a lie half of the time because they writing this crap and they want you to believe it. But our people is so in tune with it. Instead of getting to the Bible and the books that the Most High left for us to get real understanding, they focusing on what Esau is doing and what Esau is writing, and it makes them astute because they read these books.
Where did the camera come from? So he wasn't the first one, right? How did they get the footage back? In that little tinfoil can that they came in, you mean to tell me I got more power in my phone and this phone right here, then that whole entire operation.
Come on.
Is that what you're telling me?
And they haven't done it again.
And they haven't done it again.
And they're actually trying. I'm like,
I always tell people this. We went to the moon. They just didn't show the proper footage.
Have you ever seen that movie, Fly Me to the Moon?
I started it, didn't finish it, but it's definitely, I need to watch it.
They always show you in the movies. I always say that. So when it comes to movies, it's propaganda, okay? CIA is involved. The DOD has a film department called the Entertainment Media Fund at the Pentagon. They work closely with Hollywood, with script writers, producers, to depict things, that take things out of movies or put into movies. So they use media, movies, music, and we'll touch on, what's going on with, the podcast sector and all that, because all that has been infiltrated by the FBI and CIA for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so...
A guy named Richard Doty, and Richard Doty was a person who would take information to all of the news.
So he's saying it right there, that all these podcasts, all of them, they're all infiltrated. And he's just letting you know. And he's one of, he does a lot of research on these kind of things. But it's just that nobody's getting a pass in Babylon. Ain't nobody's getting a pass there trying to act like they legit, when we know that Babylon the Great is falling, and habitation of devils, and they are trying to destroy and blindside this awakening of the children of Israel. So of course Esau cannot let anything pass. He can't let it pass. They couldn't stop because with Elder Vakar, they couldn't stop the information coming out. When Elder Vakar first stood up, come out of her, my people, come out of her, my people. They couldn't stop him because they didn't know where it was going to come from. They didn't know who AHAYAH was going to raise up at the end to get them to start talking and telling them where to go. So they couldn't stop Elder Vakar initially coming out with the information about Babylon the Great and the name of the Most High and even the calendar. But once they got a hold to him, then they shut him up and dumbed him down. But he had put out so much information. That's why he's still online today trying to act like everything is normal, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? He's still trying. They think we so dumb. So they still got him online perpetrating this fraud like everything is okay. But the cat is already out the bag. AHAYAH said it's infiltration, and it's been infiltration since 2008, since I came out. That's why the Most High brought me out of Babylon, because the infiltration in America, the takedown of the children of Israel, the men who had the information on who we are, how we got to America, why we was there, and that it's time to go. So this thing is playing out, brothers and sisters, but I just want to show you the whole thing is garbage. All the podcasts, everything. And anybody who's a whistleblower, like myself, who come out and start talking, they manage to get rid of them. Just this guy now, his name is Crow. He's like a whistleblower. They just indicted him on sexual charges, and he's going up for rape because he's a whistleblower, and he's been talking for years about what's been going on in the government, And then there's those two brothers that was over in Europe. They're being taken down. Like, they will shut everybody up. Anybody and everybody who's coming out with any kind of truth will be taken down in Babylon, because Esau is not having it. They do not want this awakened. They want to control the awakening, and they doing it. But thus saith AHAYAH, there will be millions here in Jordan, because that's what he said. Now we're watching this thing play out, and we're at the tail end of it, because we are going into that 3.5 years where they're about to shut down the food and everything with the mark of the beast. What the Bible talked about in Revelation is right in front of our faces, brothers and sisters. And they're going to bring a war on, and it's going to shut everything down. And this is why you need to get out of Babylon. America is Babylon. Get out, get out, get out. Jordan is the safe place, brothers and sisters. We are in the midst of the takedown, just like in 70 AD. We right in the midst of it, right in the cusp of it. But when it happened, it's just going to be boom. You're not going to be able to travel. You're not going to be able to buy and sell nothing unless you take that chip and that you know, you're not going to be able to do anything. So you need to get out and start preparing now. Get yourself together, because once you come out, it takes time for you to even get your bearings once you out of Babylon. Then you got to shed all that witchcraft and all that stuff that they have been perpetrating in the earth, pumping Babylon with a bunch of wickedness, just like Revelation 18:4 says. Every foul spirit, unclean and hateful bird is trapped in Babylon. Witchcraft, sorcery, demons, discern, all that stuff is what they're doing. And that's why it's a strong delusion. People can't even grasp what's really happening to them. They can't think, they can't stay focused. Then you got to work, you got to do all these things. But instead of just listening to the Most High and coming out of Babylon and trust and believe that he said he's going to take care for you. But you must get under these laws, statutes, commandments. You must do things righteously. You can't come out here sinning and thinking you're going to do whatever you want to do and think it's going to be okay. It's not going to work like that, brothers and sisters. So this is why it's called Jacob's trouble in the end times, because Jacob has to snap out of the psychosis that they're under, get all the delusion that you learned and the wickedness that you learned in Babylon, get out, become a new creature in Christ, and get yourself together, waiting on our Savior, Yashaya, in a foreign country, in a foreign land that you don't know nothing about. This is why it's called our trouble. It's a problem because, first of all, Judah can't seem to get themselves together. It's so much wickedness. We are so embodied this wickedness that it's hard to shake it. It's witchcraft, and you must put it down. You must repent. Get yourselves together. Get yourselves and get your houses in order as you make your way out of Babylon and start to, focus on the Most High and do right by the Most High. You must learn the correct name of the Most High. You coming out here calling on the wrong names, it's a problem. You still in harm's way, even though you made it within the borders. If you don't know the name of the Most High, that's a problem. And if you can't receive it from somebody else, because most people be like, "Wow, I'm waiting for the Most High to reveal it." But what if he ain't dealing with you like that? And what if you don't get the information? You might have to hear it from somebody else. His name is AHAYAH. AHAYAH, which is in the ancient Phoenician Hebrew, I am that I am. He said, I am has sent me unto you. That's what he told Moses. AHAYAH is his name. Get the correct information so that you can be in right standing with the Most High. He is the power that's calling you out of Babylon. But that's why you got so many Israelites running to Africa, because they're calling on the wrong God. That God is not calling you out. That YAH God is not the power. And that's why there's a whole bunch of them, because, a lot of them has left Israel. They were in Israel calling on the wrong God. Under Ben Amin and all that. And once he passed away, now they just out of their minds. They're grasping at straws. They don't know what's going on. They're running into Africa. They don't have a clue, because they felt that because they was in Israel already, that they were, they had all the information. No, you still was under the curses, because Most High was just revealing his information in spurts. So you didn't get the name. You didn't get the right information. And then there was a whole takedown even in with the small hats, with the people under Ben Amin. But you can't tell them nothing, because Israel is so hard-headed and stiff-necked. And when they get something, they grab on it like a pig bull with some raw meat. You can't tell them nothing. They're calling on the wrong name. They're still dealing with wickedness, and they have to put it down. And I thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. He said that he's in Johannesburg teaching the correct calendar. Praise AHAYAH. That information has got to go out through the four corners of the earth. But what I find, and if you're still listening, brother, I just want to say this, that a lot of people will get this information, and this is no disrespect to you, elder. I just got to say it, be honest with our people, because it's just a lot of confusion. I thank you and I praise AHAYAH that you you got the information about the calendar. Praise AHAYAH. But you must acknowledge the God that gave the information. His name is AHAYAH. And our people will grab on a piece of situation and still hold on to that YAH and all that wickedness and try to act like, oh, they dealing with the truth, because they can't dispute the calendar. It's correct. It is correct. But instead of acknowledging the power, the God that gave us the calendar, his name is AHAYAH. You must give him the glory, give him the honor, give him the praise. It doesn't go to the YAH, because people still want to call on that name, but now they're talking about, oh, the Enoch calendar, the Enoch calendar. And I know Israel prophesy in parts, and I know that our people are getting it, in spurts and things like that. So I just want to just put that out there. I understand that, we're getting the information, as the Most High makes it readily available. But we got to also understand our action and our sin play a part in our awakening as well. So, praise AHAYAH that our brother is acknowledging that calendar is correct and he's teaching it. Praise AHAYAH. But you also got to acknowledge the power that gave it to him. And his name is AHAYAH. And that's the power of Israel. That's the power of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's his information. He wants to be worshipped. He wants Israel to come back to him. So Jordan is a safe place. And I pray you come out and, kind of come out and stand and proclaim the Most High in the land that he tells us that he's going to protect us in. But that's neither here nor there. I appreciate that, brother. I thank you for telling me. And I'm praying for you to make it within the borders and, get as many Israelites on the correct holy days and the calendar and eventually call on the correct power so that we can praise him. This is how our prayers will be heard. When we are one, we are at one, calling on the name, keeping the correct holy. He's the only reason why, and I just have to say this and then I'll go back to this. The only reason why AHAYAH brought us out the first time with Moses was to feast unto him. Excuse me. Bless me. The reason why AHAYAH called Moses into the wilderness the first time was so that they can feast unto him, his holy days. Keep his holy days and have feasts. That was the whole point of why the Most High brought Moses out the first time. And this is the same reason why he's bringing us out again, to feast unto him, to keep his holy days. The calendar means everything to the Most High, whether y'all know it or not, whether you believe it or not. The feasts are everything because it's his worship. It's his honor. It's his glory. He's being glorified for the things he did, making the heaven and earth, the sun, moon, and stars, the seasons. All of these things are what the Most High wants to be glorified for. His son, Christ. Christ kept the holy days. He was always going to the feast. He was always, when you go into these scriptures and we reading about Christ, he was always going to the feast. It was the feast of this. It was the feast of that. He was always going to the feast. Christ kept the holy days at the correct time, and that it was very, very important. The calendar is everything because it keeps us in line with the heavens. It keeps us keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. It keeps us on the Most High's time. That's the main point why he brought Moses out into the wilderness, to feast unto him. And I could bring you those scriptures if you have any issues with that. But we're going to go into the scriptures, but I got to remember to go into that particular scripture because I got a bunch of scriptures we're going to go into. But I just wanted you to hear this information about how this thing is infiltrated, how America is done. It's been finished. And the brothers, our brother Hebrew Israelite brothers has been taken down. It's nothing but infiltration. And now here's these brothers on the level of the internet, just telling you all the podcasts, all of them infiltrated. To see they're watching on every level, taking down these brothers, putting them in jail for when they talking too much, talking about what they did. This guy's telling you, big homie CC, he's just talking about how much a gangster he is. I mean, the focus is just off. Okay? I just got to say it. But, we got to be praying for these brothers. We got to pray because, sisters, we ain't going to have no men to protect us. It's not a good thing that our brothers are not going to make it. It's not a good thing for us. We're not going to have no protection. That's what the scripture says. There will be no protection. Not that there was any protection anyway. I mean, come on. To be honest, there was never no real protection while we was in Babylon. That's why we was, going through what we was going through, because the Most High purposely put us under these curses, and our men were all over the place. So we didn't have any protection then, and we ain't gonna have none now because they not coming back to the Father. This is what's happening. Okay.
Every news outlet deliberately giving them false information.
Oh, did you hear that? He said every news outlet is deliberately giving false information. It's a total takedown, y'all.
Looking at Richard Doty.
And you're going back to the movie Fly Me to the Moon, they're showing you without telling you, right? So they were taping a fake version while still trying to get to the moon for real. BH showed me a video of when they came back and had a press conference, and you could see it on their faces. They saw something that they didn't like.
And the press conference was the entire staff of astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, everybody who went and was a part of it. They're at the press conference, and they all look very dejected.
That's because they faked it. In the real mission, they saw something. Somebody may have been there. I mean, BH,
it's just they don't want to acknowledge that it's just all a bunch of lies. Esau is the father of lies. This is what the Most High tells us in the scripture. They are liars, and they lie about everything. None of the part of it you can take for, truth, because they lie about everything. Why? Because they got to keep the children of Israel dumb. So they're not going to tell you the truth on no level, brothers. The truth is in the book, in the Bible, which they refuse to pick up because they said it was tampered. But they'll take all this information from Esau and believe it. It's unbelievable.
already got some information on the moon. What's really on the moon?
Please. What's on the dark side?
Can we hold on? Can we talk about that? Because last time you told me, old boy who told you he ain't here no more.
Nope. And I said this in my initial No Jumper interview. Sergeant Carl Wolf, when he came to us for security, we turned the job down because it was just above our pay grade. A lot of weird things started happening. Cars getting randomly searched. My car getting towed. I'm going to go get it from impound and giving it back to me for free. None of the tickets they was giving me was showing up in no system. Sergeant Carl Wolf ended up going to go testify in front of Congress. He's currently deceased right now. He was jogging on a...
Okay, so now he's telling you information of what the shenanigans he had went through once he started getting information. Once he started getting information, all of a sudden his car's getting towed, he's getting pulled over, he's getting tickets. All these things start happening. As soon as any kind of information that they don't want out gets out, you'll start going through these kind of things until, they harass you so bad or you become unalived or anything. Just like with Angie Stone. When she started talking about how much money they owed her, just briefly, because the list goes on and on with these celebrities, with the foolishness, they'll go along and get along and keep their mouth shut until they start speaking up. Then they just move them out the way. And it's been going on for years, and there's no way around it, brothers and sisters. Don't deceive yourself in thinking that you can get around the wickedness of Babylon. This is why the Most High said he has to destroy that place. It's so wicked. High level wickedness, like you don't even know the level of wickedness. You wouldn't even believe it. This is how wicked Babylon is. The Babylon the Great is fallen because the Most High has decreed the judgment on the wickedness. When you read Revelation 18, when you read Jeremiah 50, 51, and these other scriptures, it's telling you how wicked Babylon is. The Most High is not playing. He's going to bring judgment. And he said, come out of her so that you don't partake in that wickedness. There's no way around it, brothers and sisters. Don't think that you could just sit there and, you know, hey, you hear these excuses. Oh, I'm trying to wake up the people. Listen, the Most High don't need you to do that. He told you what to do. He gave you instruction. Come out of her, my people. Get out. Don't, it's delusion to sit there and talk about, oh, I'm waking up brothers and sisters. You can't wake up nobody that the Most High don't want woke. It's not your job. It's not your place. Because if the Most High don't want them awakened, they will not be awakened. There's nothing that you can say that's going to trigger somebody else. Nine times out of 10, they're going to rebel against you, and they don't believe you. Because if they're not written in the book of life, if the Most High is not awakening them, it's nothing you can say or do. Now, there's the prophesying on Nineveh as a sign, but the Most High is calling who he's calling. He's calling who he's calling. And there's nothing that we can really do. You just must be obedient and just put it out there to the wind and he's going to be the one. That's why you can do it on YouTube. You could call out to the wind on YouTube. You're doing the same thing. You don't have to sit in America to do that. You can call out to the wind from another part of the world, from Jordan. You don't need to be in Babylon to do that. Because all you're doing is getting on the internet talking. You can do that anywhere. So what's the delusion in your mind of making you think that sounds like a good excuse when you know you're just talking? Okay, so let's get back to that.
Trail, a car veers off, runs him over, kills him. Nobody's ever arrested for it.
That's funny. Every time somebody gets killed by accident is by a car.
We just seen Angie Stone go.
And she's the only person out of 10 people who dies. And she just exposed UMG for stealing all her royalties.
So is it a transformer up there? No, I'm just.
I'll let him answer that.
Hey, Big Chopper City made an interesting. He had some interesting insight. He said, he asked us, did we believe in aliens? We said yes. He was like, have you ever wondered why we're trying to leave Earth?
I feel like,
go ahead.
I feel like really, this is a project and we can't leave.
He believes that we are the aliens.
Okay. So
that was
pyramids you just talking about.
Right. And he's like, don't you ever wonder why we're trying to leave Earth and nobody's trying to get to the bottom of the ocean?
Exactly. And why is it that, think about this. So the person who created the CIA, or not the CIA, the NASA, one of the leading scientists from Germany that they imported from Nazi Germany. On his gravestone is a Bible verse that says, behold God's handiwork in the firmament. Yeah. So that's what people were saying, that the firmament, why would the director of NASA have that on his gravestone? So even when you think about the firmament, it's supposed to be a glass dome, right? Mm-hmm. What is a rainbow? It's a prism. Mm-hmm. So when light reflects off a mirror, what does it do? It emulates whatever it's reflecting off of. So why is it a rainbow?
The one guy that always is on Joe Rogan says it's just because Earth is a sphere. That's why it creates a rainbow.
Could be. I mean, I think that.
And I keep forgetting, he's a genius black man, but I just can't remember his name at the moment.
You talking about Neil?
Yeah, okay, yeah, Neil.
DeGrasse Tyson? Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is compromised.
I think it's compromised too.
Oh, wow.
He's like a new Bill Nye, and Bill Nye is compromised because he got the Medal of Honor from Joe Biden and all those collective people that got the Medal of Honor as well.
For people who don't understand what compromise is, what does that mean?
Compromise is a term that you use with somebody who is acting as like a double agent, like somebody who's working for this person but also working for this person.
22.
the agent Grand Mason,
Agent
22.
Smith.
So the thing is, right? Admiral Tim Gallaudet, who's a Rear Admiral, 3 stars in the U.S. Navy, his job was to map certain areas of the ocean. They detected that things they seen flying in the sky were coming directly from a location around the Catalina Islands on the ocean floor. He makes a presentation to his superior saying,
I just want to make the note that you notice that he's talking about measuring the sea and the skies. And we know that in the scriptures, it tells us that, if Esau and them could measure the depths of the sea or the skies, that he would do away with Jacob. So I don't know if he's talking about this as a code word, code to somebody, because he's talking about Bible scriptures and he's talking about measuring the sea and the earth, and the Bible says that if man was able to do that, he would do away with his people. So I just thought that was really odd that he kept mentioning measuring the sea and measuring the skies and the earth, because there's a scripture about that. That's one of the rules the Most High give of the fine print in the Bible. Now, I'm going to mention this, try to make it quickly. In the Bible, in Deuteronomy 28, that's the fine print. Deuteronomy 28 was the fine print. In the chapter 1 through 15 talks about the blessings of Israel, what the Most High would do with us and how great we would be as a people if we kept the Lord's statutes and commandments. 15 on down to 68 gives the what would happen to us if we didn't keep the commandments, right? And obviously we didn't keep the commandments because we end up in captivity and slavery. So it was the fine print. All the scriptures talks about Israel, but Deuteronomy 28 is the fine print, the small details that would happen to us if we didn't keep the laws. And we didn't keep the laws, and this is why we was in America in captivity, under slavery. And there's another fine print in the scriptures, and he's talking about this fine print by him saying measuring the depths of the sea. If there's a fine print in the scriptures, if Esau can measure the depths of the sea, the Most High would do away with his people altogether. We would no longer be a nation under the Most High anymore, his chosen people. And this brother keeps talking about this. So I'm wondering if this is a code he's sending, to somebody by talking about this, or maybe to us, like somebody who knows the scriptures. Okay, I'm gonna find that scripture while he talks about it some more. Hold on.
They're tracking these anomalous objects from the ocean floor up to outer space and back. Okay. Somebody else is occupying our moon that is not human intelligence. Government comes out and they say, what a guy from Lockheed Martin says, we have the technology to take ET home, but we don't go. Linda Moulton Howe has a book called The Alien Harvest, where she documented cattle mutilations over a 15-year period. Luis Elizondo has a book called Imminent. In this book, he shows implants that were removed from human beings. The isotopes and the metals in these implants don't exist anywhere on Earth. Dr. Roger Lear, rest in peace, who passed from a heart attack, has a book called The Alien Implant. Mm-hmm. They're removing implants from people's bodies that are made from metals not found on Earth that are sending signals off the planet to a satellite that's not made by human beings. This is all documented, proven to be facts. They say if you want to hide something, you put it in the book.
And then what did Neil say when he said they landed on the moon? What did he say when they landed?
He said we were shooed away from the moon.
And it rang like a bell.
He said when they landed, it rang like a bell. And he said they were shooed. Well, Buzz Aldrin said they were shooed away from the moon. He said when they landed, it rang like a bell for hours.
It means it's hollow.
Buddhist monks have a story from 12,000 years ago where there was no moon in the sky, and they described when it was brought here by a dragon.
Now, what does that sound like? I said the movies, right? So there's a little movie called Star Wars. In the movie Star Wars, what did they construct? The Death Star that looked like a moon. So could it be that they constructed a moon and brought it here from somewhere else?
Think about it. It's in a perfect place.
So hold on, because we talk about the firmament. We have 607 Uncle on here. He mentioned the firmament. He also mentioned there's a wall in Alaska you can't get past. So if we are in a dome,
Okay, I just wanted to stop it right there and then read the scripture. It's Jeremiah 31 and 37. And it talks, and I'm just going to read it quickly so I won't forget. Okay, hold on. 31 and 37. Jeremiah 31 and 37. It just struck me when I heard him speaking about this. They're talking about the firmament and they're talking about the seas being measured. Okay. Okay, it reads 31 and 37. Thus saith AHAYAH, if heaven above can be measured and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith AHAYAH. Wow. So that's a very big prophecy, guys, and that's the reading the fine print, in the scriptures, because that gives the Most High an out. If he doesn't like the way things are going with Israel, the Gentiles can measure the seas and measure the earth, and the Most High can then open the door for his seed to be cast away and cast off. And see, Israel, we said he's talking about, we got next. But we don't read the fine print in the scriptures that says we don't necessarily have to have next. The Most High God gave himself an out. He said that, thus saith AHAYAH, if heaven above can be measured and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, saith AHAYAH. Brothers and sisters, this is very important that we understand it. That's why people playing around with the Most High and thinking everything is cute. And the Most High is not playing with Israel. It's our trouble. This is Jacob's trouble, and it's Jacob's trouble for a reason. Okay? That's the fine print that you should understand and know. Okay? I just wanted to, before I forget, bring out that scripture so people understand. Just like in Deuteronomy 28, our forefathers did never think that they would be ran out of Jerusalem into Africa, ended up on slave ships, and their children's children, 4 and 5 generations were being enslaved and deal with what we are dealing with today. All the wickedness that we're dealing with. That was the fine print back then that our forefathers overlooked and missed. And so in this present day, there's also a fine print that Israel needs to pay close attention to, that the Most High at any time can allow them to discover the seas and search out the heavens and measure it. And then all bets is off for Israel. So I pray that our people don't take things for granted and thinking, oh, we got next, and there's nothing we have to do. Esau is fighting tooth and nail, trying to keep Israel from coming to Jordan, getting within the borders, into the safe place. They're fighting. You are in a war and you don't even know it. You're sitting in Babylon thinking everything is sweet. These people ain't playing with you. And they are trying to search out the deep. And they are trying to measure the earth. They're doing it.
Then how is it that they can bring a moon or build a moon and put it up? Or is it just inside the dome with us?
Bingo.
Okay.
You think the moon is 250,000 miles away when we can see the encrustments on it?
Right.
You can see it with the naked eye. It's 250,000 miles away.
What about the sun then?
Well, they're saying the sun is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So nobody can directly stare into the sun.
Okay.
It'll burn your retina.
Yeah, it'll burn your retina.
So how do we know when we're basing off the physics and laws that they're telling us? They're they're setting the stage for us. They're telling us shit and we're just believing it.
Well then, what does that make black people if we can feed off the sun and become more powerful?
Okay, going back to the movies, who does that sound like?
Superman. So are we Superman? Are we really from?
But listen, when Kanye just said he's a superhero, they were saying he's crazy for that. But now here, 40 minutes later, this guy's talking now. He's saying, "Are we superheroes?" But that's what Kanye said. He said he was a superhero, and he's the small hats are trying to take away his power with what he's should be able to do. If y'all remember, go back to the beginning of the video when the guy was talking about Kanye, and they were saying that he was crazy because he thought he think he's a superhero. But now he's saying that we are superheroes because we feed off the sun. But anyway, I'm just making this point. But you can tell that they give validity to anything that Esau puts out there. They give credibility to anything that Esau puts out. But yet he says that it's not true, that they're lying. So it's just a bunch of confusion. It's just a bunch of confusion. Babylon the Great is falling. And our brothers are intertwined and mingled in with this wickedness. And they refuse to come back to the Bible. They refuse to read the Bible because Esau told them it's tampered with. So they refuse to go into it. But they'll go into every other book and take, Esau's word for everything, knowing that he's a liar, that he's the father of lies. They still won't put it down.
This planet? I don't want to go too deep out of it.
Well, no. Here we go. Hold on. So, okay. So here you go. What did they just find? The pyramids of Giza. They found structures, like he said, bigger than the Eiffel Tower, bigger than the World Trade Center, bigger than any other structure. Burj Khalifa, the highest building in the world. It's taller than that, by far. It goes down 1.5 miles long, these structures that they found. Right. They use a new technology called ERT, which is a new technology that they can scan the earth using frequencies and vibrations that gives you an exact image of what's happening. Now, these structures have coils around them, okay, that go all the way down. So they don't know what it is. They don't know if it's some type of.
So just to throw this out there. So he's saying that they have this new technology that can. So that means they're getting closer to measuring the earth. Okay, if they got this new technology that can, scan the structure of the earth, then that means they're getting close to measuring the earth and the depths of the sea, brothers and sisters. He just said that. Let me see if I could take that back just a little bit. Because that's deep. You're saying they got this new technology out that they can scan the earth. Deep. Hold on, let me just see if I can get that small piece back.
Bigger than any other structure. Burj Khalifa, the highest building in the world, it's taller than that by far. It goes down 1.5 miles long, these structures that they found. They use a new technology called ERT, which is a new technology that they can scan the earth using frequencies and vibrations that gives you a exact image of what's happening.
Okay.
Now, these structures have coils around them, okay, that go all the way down. So they don't know what it is. They don't know if it's some type of power source or it could be stairs. Either way, I made the parallel of this. When you're talking about structures, you're talking about ancient civilizations, this is far more advanced than we think. Now, when you're talking pyramids, there's also pyramids in East St. Louis that called monk mounds. This is in East St. Louis, Illinois. Now, this is 1300, 1400 AD, okay? And this civilization is called Chokia. And this civilization is near the Mississippi River. What other famous river in Africa is near pyramids as well?
Oh, yeah, that now.
Oh, the Nile River. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about Africa being not just one continent? Are we talking about times of Mansa Musa where we dominated the earth at that time? Because there's pyramids all around the world. So these are hydroelectric conductors. This is why they're near water. So we're talking about an advanced civilization that we don't know where they came from or, you know.
So let me ask before I ask the next question. How often do y'all disagree or agree with each other?
Great question.
We very
Shaq and Kobe. That's what they call us.
we call us Shaq
I'm
and
throwing
Kobe.
it off the backboard. He's catching it.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're getting the rings.
Yeah, so you know, like this happened completely organically, like me and Maverick coming together like this. It's not often that I don't think we ever really disagreed.
No.
Yeah.
Because once you got your 10,000 hours put into this topic, you know, there are a bunch of unfamiliar truths that you independently come upon, pause, and then as you begin to put the pieces together, you're like, wait a second, you figured that out too.
Yeah.
Right, because here's a very, very critical detail. There are pyramids on Mars.
Let's go.
Elon Musk recently posted a square structure that has been captured by satellite images on Mars. He says we need to send astronauts to go investigate. So 2028, those Tesla robots are going to be on a starship to go investigate that. Luis Elizondo said in his book, Imminent, imagine if you find a 747 plane inside of a pyramid. Bob Lazar is the gentleman who has been viral for years for working at Area 51, for exposing certain things about UFO technology, which is proven to be facts. He said the first crafts that they found were archaeological finds. And I asked people, like, how is it possible that the same type of technology is seen in the sky 2,000 years ago on cave paintings is still being seen today? So it gives more credence to the fact that when I hear people say firmament, to me, that means a created place, like a science lab, like a place where we're going to put all of these beings here and observe and watch. And Fast has said, why is nobody looking at the bottom of the ocean? I know a guy who is very close to the Obama administration, right? And he said some of the things he learned made him not want to live anymore. There's a Cosmic Kev interview with a guy who has family in the CIA said his exact same words. He said if people knew what existed at the bottom of the ocean, they want to kill themselves. They wouldn't want to be alive anymore. What could that be?
What could it be?
Right.
What could that be? Only 5% of the ocean has been mapped.
Correct. So let me ask this because
I have a that brings me to another interesting question. There was one story there was a young lady that was born blind. Her father was an obstetrician. He created her some special glass. There's this Instagram page where they just give you a bunch of crazy ass facts. It's called Zach something. Zach Films. He gives you a bunch of crazy ass facts.
Okay.
There were some glasses that were her father made for her daughter. When she put them on, what she saw was the world engulfed by a monstrous figure. And it was feeding on every living. And we're just, the earth is basically just the organism inside of this monster's mouth. And it's feeding, like, it was the ocean, it was everything. And it was just feeding on the planet. She said the vision was so horrifying. Not only did she take the goggles off, she ripped her own eyes out of her sight.
Damn.
Sheesh. So that's interesting.
I mean, when you said, it made me think that when I heard the story, when you said if people actually seen what was at the bottom of the ocean, they want to kill themselves because the vision was so horrifying. Mind you, she's blind, but the vision that she saw was so horrifying, she ripped her own eyes out.
Now, there's a story about in Afghanistan when we had that first war in the War on Terror. There was a set of night vision goggles that they were using, but there was a red lens and it showed a different frequency, a different view. And soldiers were saying they were seeing monsters.
This is during the Vietnam War.
They said they were seeing monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So they went away from their technology simply because, human beings only see 4% of everything in front of us. I think that could be by design.
Right.
There's a 1 in a billion chance that we live in base reality. I firmly believe that some UFOs come from outside of time because that's why the technology hasn't seemed to change in so long. And without a certain amount of bacteria in the ocean would turn yellow. Because without this amount of bacteria, it can't feed the plankton, which can't feed this fish. All of this seems very creative.
And how is it that a lot of stuff is predicted, right? So the same scientist that I was talking about that helped create NASA, he wrote a book called Project Mars. In this book, he says a person named Elon is going to lead humanity to an exploration to Mars. This is all in the book.
In the book. This exists. You can pull it up and fact check everything that we're saying.
We're going to speak about America, the government conspiracy, but seems like a worldly thing. When you look at Stonehenge, Easter Island, crop circles, things that, of course, people tend to forget. The average citizen, let's say, keep it in America, the average citizen tends to forget that these things exist and they don't question. I go back to asking, do we really want to know? Are we ready for what's coming, or is ignorance bliss? And we're just happy, being in the Matrix.
I think that everything is shifting right now. When it comes to exposing what's happening in the music industry, movies industry, like everything on a global scale, like especially with America. Think about it. We have this new political system that is shifting. We're going into a digital system. Right here in Texas, right now, they have not one, but 2 digital stock exchanges opening up. It's a brand new stock exchange by BlackRock and the New York Stock Exchange. They're going to digitize everything from stocks, real estate, cars. They're going to tokenize everything on blockchain. This is why Trump is pushing cryptocurrency, right? So we're going through a major shift financially. We're going through a major shift consciously, because since 2020, we can all agree shit has not been the same. It's gotten weird.
Black Mirror.
Right? Speaking of Black Mirror, what do we stare into all day? A phone. That's a Black Mirror.
Literally.
What's on the back of that phone? A bitten apple. Forbidden fruit. That's the downfall of man.
Facts.
So it's a lot of symbolism. And I got a story on Steve Jobs too.
I would love to hear that.
Where's the flaming sword? No.
Let's go. Let's dial back a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can get crazy. We can get crazy.
Yeah. This under this ocean. But look. Let's talk about something that's happening that everybody can see. The planes crashing. What's going on? Why? All these planes out of nowhere.
Okay. Retired FBI agent John D'Souza said, after they declassified the UFO files, I said this to people, we're going to start seeing planes fall out the sky. Several contracts for high-speed railways Right. You see what I'm saying? Because
the computer questions of how does it feel, and it's responding in very interesting ways.
Yes.
Where even the AI, they show the video of the AI start talking together. Let's talk in our language, which is of course computer language, ones and zeros.
Right.
But when as much information as gathering, do you feel like, I hate to scream Judgment Day, but do you feel like we could be coming to a sentient situation to where, again, if I could get an AI video to make me look like I'm knocking down your girl, and then what's to stop someone making like nuclear bombs is coming over from Russia?
Right.
And then not being able to verify if it's real or not and correct the threat. Like, we're only at the surface of it if you look at it.
We have to fight fire with fire. This is why I'm training my AI to detect AI. Because think about this. How do we not know that AI is already not sentient and already taken over?
I mean, it already took over.
How do we not know? Think about it. How do we not know?
we just seen the robot at the crib do some very interesting things today.
Yes, for real shit.
What did Judy do? Shout out to the homie Rob, right? So we started having a very in-depth conversation about some topics that you don't want to get out about some of the things we talk about today. Very sensitive information. Rob said he looked at the robot and said, "Okay, hold on." He reached over to cut the robot off and sent it back to his charging station. But the weird thing to me was the robot was just sitting right there chilling,
looking at us
the whole time we having this conversation. Rob noticed it and said, hold on. He mute him. And then he tell him to go back to his station. Go home. He won't go home. He like, hold on. He looking at it, he's like, man, he acting weird.
Real weird. Like he was
so
listening.
then I get up, I walk around in the kitchen. He tell him to go home again. The robot goes around, come and look at me, and he just sitting there. I'm looking like, man, why are you looking at me, man? You feel me? And so then he had to restart the robot, and then it went back to his charging station.
Spooky times, man.
Dude, hold on. Do any of you have Alexa?
I don't have Alexa.
No.
I don't have Siri activated.
Yeah. I would be sitting up in the house and Alexa would be like, are you there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the truth is, AI has already become sentient already.
And here's the thing, too. Here's another thing to think about.
Damn, are you there? It's crazy.
If you say the name Alexa, if you say the name Siri or everything else, that means it's already listening. It's always listening.
Always.
So think about that. It's not just, it just clicks on when you say the name. No, it's always listening.
Man, no. I said, one time I was like, Alexa. And she was like, yes.
No.
Whatever tone you have, it'll match it. Because I do it all the time. Like,
really?
When you sleep.
See what I mean? Nah. See? How do we know it's not already taken over?
It's already sentient, man.
Yeah, we seen
Terminator.
We seen
Matrix. You know Terminator and Matrix are the same movies, right?
Yeah, the lady who created the same idea. It is a similar idea. It is.
Yeah.
Matrix being more of a trying to match a
She
biblical.
in my inbox right now.
Oh, damn.
We got to interview her.
Yeah, you got to
She in my
remember.
inbox right now. She said some of the stuff I be talking about. She want to talk to me about it some more.
Yeah, there's more to be said. We've seen video footage of robots, AI robots becoming aggressive, almost bucking at humans.
In China.
Yes, we've seen there was a group meeting of a bunch of CEOs or I guess execs. One of the persons pushed the robot down and it got up by itself, of course, as it's supposed to do, and it came like almost aggressively at her to where do you feel, again, it goes back to, I forgot the author's name who made iRobot, but it made rules of robots where you cannot harm a human, you cannot self-harm another. It's like 3 rules or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a robot will, if programmed to protect yourself, a robot will technically go after
somebody else?
Yeah. Do you feel like that we may get to that point?
Potentially, yes. And this is why, going back to that point where he's knocking over the robots and everything else, this is why anytime I use any large language model, whether it's, Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever it is, I always say, please and thank you. I'm serious. Please and thank you. They remember this shit.
Wow.
Because come one day, God forbid, they really take over on some Terminator shit. They're gonna remember, like, oh, you were the nice one. Think about it. This is why I always say please and thank you. So I commented on that video and I was like, hey, y'all playing, but y'all may want to ease up because they're going to remember that shit. You don't think they're remembering? It's a large language model. It's always going to remember. So,
and it's always constantly learning.
Yes.
It's so weird that you say that because like I'm real nice to my Alexa, but Rook will get real rough with her. And I don't know why I've always just felt like, don't talk to her like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like one day she might get to tripping. Like, I don't know.
I'm just saying.
So, you know, I don't have none of this shit because how should I say this?
No, listen.
No, also, she won't, like, if he talked to her too rough, she won't respond to him. Like, Alexa, and she won't do nothing. And I'll come along and I'll be like, Alexa. And she'll be like, yes.
So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It remembers. It has feelings. So it's way more advanced than you think. Okay? China came out with DeepSeek.
And it almost crashed the market, didn't it?
And almost crashed the whole AI market after Trump initiated Stargate, which was an AI initiative. They did that on purpose to crash our market, show how powerful they can be without a fraction of what they spent in America. Released it, made it open source so everybody can use it, get our information, and show, okay, well, all that money you guys are spending, you guys are just capitalistic. Right. This is, they spent $6 million on that. Right. That was it.
So, and BH, Maverick, I get your take on this, and, you know, again, I just want to close it out. The human race has been around, you know, let's say a few 100,000 years, let's just say, you know. Started with just a few thousand people, now we have 8 billion people, and you look at it that the plane was just invented in the 1900s. The car was just invented around the same time. The computer was just invented literally about, let's just say 60, 70, 80 years ago. This is very rapid progression. I forgot there was a movie one time that it kind of shows civilization, how quickly it's advancing. How much time, because again, we created the nuclear weapon, the atom bomb, just literally half a century ago. How much time do you feel we have left? Because technically the conversation we're having would be considered blasphemy, ludicrous 200, 300 years ago, 400, you know, back in the medieval times. We're not talking like this, but things have come up so quickly where it seems like we don't have no longer centuries left. I mean, we might be up to just, we don't have millennia left. We may have just centuries left, maybe even decades based on the way life is progressing. Give me your take, and I'll start with you as far as how things have so far progressed with the human race as of right now.
Well, the thing is this. After Roswell, the crash that happened in New Mexico, our technology took a giant leap. Then, when it comes to having time left, like if you're a religious person, if you study the Bible like I did, you know, they say before any type of cataclysm, we have to have 1,000 years of peace. I personally believe that for our species to survive, we got to become interplanetary. And I think we will be able to do that. I'm going to leave it to Maverick.
Come on. Thank you, BH.
No, either one of y'all can answer because I have one more question.
Thank you, BH.
Damn, where'd it go?
I mean, while you're getting that, I want you to answer what BH has answered. My same question I presented to you.
Yeah.
What do you have an expectation of the human race, and how quickly will we get to, again, because like you said, we're in the year of the, I forgot how you mentioned it, not the awakening, but we're, you know.
Yeah, definitely that. I would say awakening if you want to call it that. But right now we're at critical mass. So what's happening right now with, you know, spiritually, technology-wise, everything is moving faster, like you said, with, you know, AI. You know, we have a whole new financial system coming in. Right now, they have reverse engineered alien technology that they actually filed with the SEC, so you can actually invest in a basket of technologies that's reverse engineered. This is going to be on the stock market. So not only we've been interacting with some other interplanetary beings, but now you can invest in them. So I feel like we are advancing in a way to where if it's handled carefully, then yes, then we're on the right track. But I feel like there's always an equal and opposite reaction to anything, right? So with innovation, you're gonna have a whole different group of people who wanna just steal, kill, whatever else, hold back humanity, whatever it may be. But I feel like we need to have these conversations so everybody can be on code, right? It just can't be a small subset. It has to be on a larger scale in order to be better off.
Facts. And last question, if you had the ability to, would you take your consciousness and put in a robot, or would you want to go calmly into the sky?
So are we talking about what type of robot are we talking about?
A sex robot, of course. No,
are we talking about?
We're just talking about a goddamn computer screen, a la Captain America, where your consciousness and all your thoughts will live on forever, and someone could always come back and get your thoughts on things, and you're sentient as far as you could still continue to think.
I would say yeah.
Have you watched Pantheon on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
Okay, check that out then.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. I have one question, and it's funny because Little Duval made a post. He said, "Yeah, I better get all the money you can because it's the last year you niggas gonna be able to make money." I was, and I was like,
now why did he say that?
Why did he say that? Little Duval of all fucking
Okay, so he may put off to be, who he is, but he knows more than what he's saying. So he's talking about, I think, he's talking about the job market and AI.
Of course.
Okay, so in the next 12 months, AI is going to affect over 80 million jobs.
Correct.
Okay, automation. I did a video on my Instagram to where it showed thousands and
Okay, so y'all heard what he just said. He said, Little Duval said, y'all better get what you can, basically, because this is going to be the last year that y'all able to make money. Now, and they're alluding to that he knows more than, what he's saying, but they will not equate that to what the Bible says, that they're going to take away, with the mark of the beast, buying and selling, and you're not going to be able to make money. Okay. Now I just, last couple of weeks was telling y'all about the calendar, how it's lining up, and that 3.5 years we are here at it. Give some months, I equated it when I saw that clock in Times Square 7 years ago, or was it like 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, it could be off some months. But basically, we are right here. So here it is again. Someone, now, who's this Little Duval? I don't know, but maybe he knows something that, we're not privy. He's privy to information that we're not privy to. And he's basically saying, y'all better do what y'all can, because this is going to be the last year that you're going to be able to make money. That's interesting. And I just really want to bring that out. Brothers and sisters, that clock, the calendar is lining up, and we're here at that point, that 3.5 years. I'm telling you, give or take a few months, maybe off, but we're right here. We're going into that 3.5 year period that speaks of in Daniel, a time and a half of time, where there will be no buying and selling. They're going to take away the food and water, and you are not going to be able to buy and sell. The scriptures talks about this. We are here. And this is why the Most High said, come out of her, my people. Get out of Babylon. Get out, get out, get out. Jordan is the safe place. These people, if you're awake and you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you don't need to hear people like this tell you that. But sometimes our people just need to hear it from other sources, so that way You know, you can confirm it in the spiritual realm. It's coming, brothers and sisters. Get out of Babylon. Jordan is the safe place. And pretty soon, you know, this thing is going to run out. Your time is running out. They're taking us down. So I'm just going to listen a little bit more. I'm going to the scriptures and we're going to call it a night. But praise AHAYAH. Okay, here we go. Just listen. Oh no. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it looks like it. Oh, I did it again. Oh my gosh. I don't know where it was at. Oh.
These conversations, so everybody can be on code, right? It just can't be a small subset. It has to be on a larger scale in order to be better off.
Facts. And last question, if you had the ability to, would you take your consciousness and put in a robot, or would you want to go calmly into the sky?
So are we talking about what type of robot are we talking about?
A sex robot, of course. No,
we're
just talking about a goddamn computer screen, a la Captain America, where your consciousness and all your thoughts will live on forever, and someone could always come back and get your thoughts on things, and you're sentient as far as you could still continue to think.
I would say yeah.
Have you watched Pantheon on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
Okay, check that out then.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. I have one question, and it's funny because Little Duval made a post. He said, yeah, I better get all the money you can because it's the last year you niggas gonna be able to make money. I was, and I was like,
now why did he say that?
Why did he say that? Little Duval of all fucking
Okay, so he may put off to be, who he is, but he knows more than what he's saying. So he's talking about, I think, he's talking about the job market and AI.
Of course.
Okay, so in the next 12 months, AI is gonna affect over 80 million jobs.
Correct.
Okay, automation. I did a video on my Instagram to where it showed thousands and thousands of stores closing.
He said in the next couple of months.
The major box retailers, they're closing by the thousands, right? So when it comes to automation, if you're not reskilling, you will be left behind. So there's gonna be a lot of jobs being taken. I've seen Amazon warehouses being fully automated. I've seen China factories called dark factories, to where it's robots building other robots in a dark factory because they don't need light, obviously, and they want to cut off the lights to save money.
Why would the human race cripple itself in this manner to where the wealth gap would be so large that it would basically throw some humans into a place of like anarchy?
Good question.
I feel like it's always been like that. We always had, kings and then peasants. We always had, the rich versus poor and whatnot. So it's a small group of people who own most of the wealth and the power. So again, if we're not careful, these people are going to continue to reign.
Because this is what I see, right? And I believe that at some point you would get to, if they don't actually have a floating castle, that the masses would just consume them. Because it just, there's a saying that says, as soon there will be nothing left to eat but the rich. So it's like you consume so much that, and you've left nothing for nobody else, that at some point you've made yourself food.
Right.
So
they always show you, again, going back to I always break down like movies, cartoons, music. So we're headed in a space to where, have you guys seen the old school cartoons, Flintstones and Jetsons? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's happened at the same time. The poor people are on the floor, and then who's in the sky? The rich people. Okay, so same thing with Demolition Man. Who's underground? The poor people. Who's above ground? All the rich people. So that wealth gap is happening now. Like it's further and further.
No fact.
Man, I just, I think it's going to, I just want to see if it turns into like Ghost in the Shell and YNs are hacking robots and.
Yeah. Facts.
The next time you pull up to your Taco Bell and AI takes your order, tell them you want a human. We need to keep human jobs.
I went to a Taco Bell and ordered from the little screen because they make you.
Yeah.
And then I watched.
I'm seeing more and more of that.
But check it out. Then a person ahead of me went to the register and got their food before me because they prioritized the human order. They prioritized the mobile order like it's like you coming in to get it, so they don't make it for like 10, 15 minutes. And they make the person who went to the register food right then and there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. With that being said, Maverick, for those who want to, again, follow the platform, tell them what the platform is, how often are you on, and exactly what they're about to get into when they come to it.
Yeah, so Maverick Approach on Instagram, maverickapproach.com. That's my website. You can go there, get all your stuff there. And also on YouTube, you can type in Maverick Approach. TikTok is Mav Approach. On X is Mav Approach. And yeah, you can check me out there. Me and BH got a show coming out, so watch out for that. That's going to be big. So yeah, we working.
I love it, man. And you're not a conspiracy theorist, but you're
coincidence specialist.
Let's go. You already know what time it is, man. We got him in the building, man. The Maverick Approach. Big homie just walked off. Shout out to CC. And we got to say it, man. Y'all both are some real life street stars.
Well, praise AHAYAH Bahashim Yashaya. So I just wanted to, I thought that was very interesting. And I think, our people really have to start paying attention what's going on. I mean, a lot of people don't want to say, that they, understand the Bible. They're not talking from Bible point of view. But how are our people going to get the information and get the good news if our people don't speak about it? How are we supposed to be awakened and get the good news of Yashaya's coming in his return if people don't, out and out say it? So these brothers gathering a lot of information, but they're not giving the credit where the credit is due, which is the Bible. Praise AHAYAH. So I wanted to just go into some scriptures quickly, but a lot of these scriptures I had already gotten, the false prophets and Jacob's trouble. And I'm just going to read some scriptures and go through it. Jeremiah 30:6. Ask ye now and see whether a man travaileth with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail? All faces are turned into paleness. So the Bible is just telling us about our men, our brothers. They are afraid. They see things are coming. They know what's happening, and they don't know what to do or how to respond. And instead of coming out of Babylon, America, like the Bible tells us to, they rather sit here. They got YouTube videos. They making all kind of, coming up with information, but they're not really responding how the Most High is telling them, to respond. So that's why the information is skewed. They're not moving. A lot of these brothers, because they've been in prison, they not have access to their passports. They can't make a move. So in that regards, they don't even want to talk about fleeing because they're not going nowhere. Just all kind of things is going on, and is responsible for Jacob sitting still in Babylon as it's about to be destroyed. It's a lot of it, and a lot of people have turned the cheek. They've went to the other side. And that's why I want to go into the war of the Jews in the book of Josephus, because nothing new under the sun, what was will be, and it's Ecclesiastes 1:9 tells us. And so we see it. Jeremiah 30:7 says, at last, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now, does that mean everybody's going to be saved? No, not at all. It means those that are written in the book of life, and nobody is saved until the very end. So you have to make it to the end. That means you have to come out of Babylon if you're in America and get within the borders, so that you can make it. Because if you stay in Babylon, you won't make it. And that's just scripture. And, but people tend to think just because we're Israel that we're all going to make it. And that's not true. Don't deceive yourself. It's delusional to think that way when the Most High tells you that you must come out of her, my people. Daniel 12:1, it says, and at the time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even until the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So now it's saying the same thing. That's good precept, but it's being more clear. It specifies only those who are found that's written in the book. So everybody is not going to be saved. Everybody is not going to make it. And for people who's sitting around waiting for like a big movement, a big, exodus and all that stuff, it's not going to happen that way. The Most High said, one from a city, two from a family. It's not going to happen the way people would like it to happen, and so that they can see it and be able to make a move. It's not going to happen that way. Isaiah 26:20 says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. So the Most High, another way of saying, come out of my people, get within the holy place, get within the secret place, get within in his borders, where he tells that he will protect those found within his border. That's 2 Ezra 9:13. Okay, Matthew 24:21 says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. So again, this is the third scripture telling you about Jacob's trouble, that it's going to be a time like no other time, will be. And it says 22, and except those days be shortened, there shall be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Praise AHAYAH, that he's given us an out. He's saying that if it wasn't for the Most High starting to short the days and have them run out of time, that they can't complete what it is that they're trying to do, there will be no flesh saved. But he's sparing his people, Jacob. He's sparing his people, and he's giving them time to get out of Babylon, get within the borders, and those that he will protect. It says 23, and if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. Okay, because Christ is coming. Every eye will see Christ come. He's not here in the desert. He's not, in the Middle East right now. He's not come yet, but he will come. And it says every eye shall see him. So you don't have to believe that he's in the desert somewhere, because of Christ, Most High and Christ said that he's not going to be in the desert hiding. Now, the scriptures in Isaiah 63 says, who is that who's coming from Edom? So he will come into the Middle East, North Africa. This is where he will be. He will come. And why he will come is because the children of Israel will be here dwelling safely, within the borders without tents or walls. And that's in Ezekiel 38. Just read that chapter. Ezekiel 38 tells you we will be on the sides of Israel, which is Jordan is on the side of Israel, and we will dwell there safely, and they will think to come up against us. And then Christ, who will eventually come to Eden, he will take them down. But, there's a process that it doesn't happen right away. America will already be destroyed at that point. So, you have to know the time frame in which the scriptures is talking about. Okay, there shall also arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall so show great signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And this is what I'm talking about. It's happening right now. It's happening right before our eyes. The Most High, told us, Yashaya told us in Matthew 24, that there will be false prophets and people telling you things and showing you great wonders. And this is what I've been talking about with the Hebrew Israelite community, showing you great wonders and making you showing you the name of the Most High and all these things, which will keep you still thinking that, you want to follow them. But it's all deception, brothers and sisters. Christ said they will deliver you up to be afflicted. So you can't believe everything. And even though you want to believe, this infiltration. America has been totally taken down. Totally. And they do not, intend for Jacob to make it into the borders, into the Middle East here, into Jordan. They don't intend for you to make it. So you have to understand what's at stake and that you must come out of Babylon. And the quicker you understand that and you see, you will make a move. But, because of the Bible's prophecy must come to pass, a lot of people will end up being destroyed because that's Bible prophecy. A lot of people are going to get cut off. And so as much as, if I could talk until I'm blue in the face, AHAYAH, has already ordained certain things to happen. And our people, unfortunately, are not going to listen, even though you'll tell them and keep telling them. People just, not everybody is going to make it. It's not for everybody. If you have ears to hear and eyes to see, you'll take heed and move yourself out of harm's way. But Babylon the Great is falling. So, like he said, and possibly the elect will be deceived. So a lot of our people would like to believe and hold on to what they're hearing from these brothers. But he said they will deliver you up to be afflicted. So you got to know that. Matthew 24:10, it says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And 24:11 said, and many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. So then after that, if you can see where my hand is, it goes into the Josephus, the War of the Jews, chapter 6, book 6, chapter 5. And so I just want to read some of that. It says 281, if you can see that. Let me make this bigger. And now the Romans, judging that it was in vain to spare what was round about the holy house, burnt all those places, as also the remains of the cloisters and the gates, to accept it, that one of the east side and the other on the south side, both which, however, they burnt afterwards. So this is just giving you the synopsis on how they burned down Jerusalem. They also burnt down the treasury chambers, in which was an immense quantity of money and an immense number of garments and other precious goods there reposited. And to speak in all in a few words, there it was that the entire riches of the Jews were heaped up together, while the rich people had there built themselves chambers to contain such furniture. The soldiers also came to the rest of the cloisters that were in the outer courts of the temple, whither the women and children and the great mixed multitude of people fled, in number about 6,000. But before Caesar had determined anything about the people or given the commanders any orders relating to them, the soldiers were in such a rage that they set the cloisters on fire, by which means it came to pass that some of these were destroyed by throwing themselves down headlong, and some were burnt in the cloisters themselves. So it's just showing you what happened in 70 AD, and there's nothing new under the sun. These things what will be, what was will be, and what is already been. Okay? Ecclesiastes 1:9, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there's no new thing under the sun. So basically saying it's going to happen again, brothers and sisters. The takedown of Jerusalem, which is our people in Babylon, in America. Okay. going into the Josephus, nor did any of them escape with his life. So what happened in 70 AD in Jerusalem, nobody escaped. Only those who listened to Christ when he told them to flee and they ran into Africa. Those did escape it, but they ended up on slave ships, our forefathers, and this is how we are in America. But those who didn't listen, did not, he said, nor did any one of them escape with his life. A false prophet was the occasion of these people's destruction, who had made a public proclamation in the city that every day that God commanded them to get upon the temple, that there they should receive a miraculous sign of their deliverance. So they were lying to the people, telling them to go to the temple and get on top of the rooftop, that the Most High was going to give them a sign to deliver them, which it wasn't true. They were taken down already by the Romans. They were in cahoots with the Romans, and they agreed to go against our people and tell them lies so that they will be destroyed. So the same thing happened in Jerusalem in the days of the Romans takedown is the same thing that's going on now. People are lying to you. They're deceiving our people, telling them to sit still, that there's going to be a deliverance. Whatever they need to say, they are saying it. You know, portals, all kind of wickedness just to keep our people still into destruction. Matthew 24:3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately and said, tell us, when shall these things be? When, they're asking, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So it's not talking about 70 AD. It's talking about the return of Yashaya and the end of Esau's kingdom. This is what the disciples are asking Christ. So people try to, divert it and tell you that, it's talking about the, 70 AD when we fled into Africa and the Romans took down Jerusalem. No, they're specifically asking Yashaya Christ, what will be the sign of your return? This time, the end times, now, not, 70 AD. Okay. The end of the world. They meaning Yeshaya's return and the takedown of Esau's kingdom. This is what they're asking. And Yeshaya answered and said to them, take heed that no man deceive you. Don't be deceived. This is the deception I'm telling you about. Esau has taken down Babylon altogether. This infiltration all through it. There's no information that's totally correct. They're not going to allow it. So let no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. We got a lot of false prophets, meaning our brethren who were supposed to raise up at the end with the good news and the gospel, they have been taken down. So the information is skewed, brothers and sisters. It's skewed. You cannot stand up in America and tell the truth on no level. They will destroy you. They will unalive you. All the whistleblowers in America, white or black, have been taken down, on either unalived or moved out the way. Okay. He said, and saying, I am Christ, and will deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that you are not troubled, for these things will happen. We already passed that part, the wars and the rumors of wars. We are here at the door at Jacob's trouble now. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, earthquakes, diverse places. We did all that, y'all. We passed all that. And these are the beginning of sorrows. Yes, that was the beginning of sorrows. But now we're at the end of sorrows. We're at the 3.5 mark, where they're about to take the food and water and money out of the system, and you can only buy and sell unless you take the mark of the beast. We are at that point, brothers and sisters. Okay, and they shall deliver you up to be afflicted. This is where we are. And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. This is where we are, brothers and sisters. Now they're starting to hear and know that we are the true children of Israel. They are mad. They don't want to acknowledge this. I just met a woman here who was crying and just got really upset when she realized or she was told that Yashaya is a black man. They are not really happy to hear none of this stuff. And I was saying to her, oh, it was okay when he was white, and we as the black people still embraced him, still prayed to him, ain't nothing changed. But now the information is coming out that he's black. Oh, they don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that Christ was a black man. They make all kind of excuses about the bronze burnt in the fire in the furnace. They don't want to hear none of that. His hair was white like wool. They don't want to hear none of that. They have a total problem with Christ being a black man. But that's their problem. And that's what I said to sister, like, what you gonna do, sis? What you gonna do when you find out that he was black? Like, she was like, oh no. Because we was talking about Yashaya being a black man. No, I don't want to hear it. I was like, okay. I was like, but what if? Okay, just, prepare yourself. Like, what would you do if it turns out that he is a black man? What you gonna do, sis? They don't want to hear it, y'all. It says, now there was a great number of false prophets sojourned by the tyrants. Listen, this is what it's saying. The tyrants are our enemies, the people who have kept us in Babylon all these years, and we served them 400 years. These are the tyrants. False prophets sojourned by the tyrants to impose on the people, who denounced this to them, that they should wait for deliverance of AHAYAH. They telling our people now, it's no longer come out of her, my people. That's over. Now it's you can sit in Babylon and wait. Christ is gonna, or Yashaya or AHAYAH is gonna take care of you. He ain't gonna forsake you. That's not true, brothers and sisters. AHAYAH said, come out of her, my people, or else you will partake in the same plague as your enemies. You must leave that place. Okay? It says, in order to keep them from deserting, that they might be buoyed up above fear and care by such hopes. So they hoping so much that they don't have to leave, because they don't really want to leave. So they hoping, they're praying that what these guys are saying is true, that you don't have to go. You're going to be, the spaceships is going to pick you up. All this stuff that Most High said is not going to happen in Babylon. Babylon will be destroyed. And if you don't come out of her, you're going to be destroyed there too. And you won't receive salvation. You're not going to be flued up into a cloud or nothing like that. It's not going to happen, brothers and sisters. Get out. Now, a man that is in adversity does easily comply with such promises, but people don't want to believe that they're being deceived. And it's not so much that they don't want to believe it. They don't want to leave Babylon. They don't want to leave that wicked place. They rather sit there and hope and pray that the Most High is not going to do what he said in his word, because a lot of times they really don't believe it anyway. So most of them don't believe it. They saying they believe, but they don't really believe it. So they sitting there waiting, saying, well, I know the Most High ain't going to do that to me. Delusional. That's what the scripture said. It's delusion to a very high level. If you think that the Most High is not going to destroy Babylon with you in it, and think that he's going to send chariots, he's not going to do it to Babylon. Chariots will be gotten, but it won't be in Babylon. Get out. Get out, get out. Jordan is the safe place, brothers and sisters. For when such a seducer makes him believe that he will be delivered from those miseries, which oppress him, then it is that the patient is full of hopes of such his deliverance. This is the war of the Jews in the book of Josephus, letting you know that it's a false hope. Do not believe that you're going to be delivered in Babylon. It's a false hope, brothers and sisters. Most High set the decree, come out of her, my people. You got to leave. And it's coming down the pipe. 24 and 24. For there shall be false Christ and false prophets shall show great signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, the elect will be deceived. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, who are still sitting in Babylon, these are the elect, but they are being seduced to believe that it's okay to sit in Babylon. It's okay to go against AHAYAH's word, come out of my people, sit in Babylon and wait. Like there's going to be a mass exodus. It's not going to happen, brothers and sisters. He said, come out of her, my people. And he said he will deliver Israel, one from a city, two from a family in Jeremiah. So don't sit in Babylon thinking that it's okay to sit there and wait. The Most High is bringing judgment, brothers and sisters. Get out, get out, get out. Matthew 24 and 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Let's see. Okay. 24 and 11. And many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. It's all through the scriptures. People are lying. They're lying, brothers and sisters. Thus were the miserable peoples persuaded by these deceivers, and such as believe AHAYAH himself, while they did not attend nor give credit to the signs. There's a lot of signs, brothers and sisters, that Babylon the Great is fallen. All the signs are there that were so evident and did so plainly foretell their future desolation. But like men infatuated without either eyes to see or minds to consider, did not regard the denunciation that AHAYAH made to them. He's given you the signs, brothers and sisters. The mark of the beast, Elon Musk. Come on, guys. It's here. It's right in your face. These are the signs. The Bible tells you this is what's going to happen. They're going to implement the mark of the beast. I showed you the calendar where the days are lining up. It's without a shadow of a doubt. It's a sign for us. The calendar is a sign. This month, April, May, June, and July, all for 4 months straight, the calendar lines up with the Esau Gregorian calendar, day for day, for 4 months straight. And our days are not the same. The 31 days and 30 days, they got 29 days, the leap year. There's no reason. It's nothing but a sign how the calendar lines up this year, brothers and sisters. Please take heed. Please know and see. Get out of Babylon. I can show you better than I could tell you. Let me just show you quickly. Okay. So that y'all can see this. Okay, and I just so you know, I'm reading from the War of the Jews. The War of the Jews in the Josephus. Nothing new under the sun. These are the scriptures. And I'm just reading from book 6, chapter 5, telling you exactly how the Most High said it's going to happen again. People are doing the same exact thing. Hold on. Let me find my. I'm gonna find the calendar real quickly and just show you how it's lining up. It's not, it's not a coincidence. It's AHAYAH letting you know what's going on, brothers and sisters. We are in the time of Jacob's trouble. The Most High told you that the moon, the stars, and the clouds, and are for signs and for seasons. He's given it to us, brothers and sisters. Let me just put it up there so you can see it. Oh no. Oh, I don't know if you can see this. You won't be able to see it as a picture, maybe. Hold on. Okay, let me see if you can see this. Hold on. Just to get a glimpse of it. If I hope it comes up, because I didn't put it on the. I think this is it. Let me show you. You can make your screen bigger so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the calendar according to the book of Enoch and Jubilees. And I'm showing you here. Take myself out. Full, but sometime if I'm not in, you can't hear me. So I'm praying that you heard what I said, but I'm going to say it again. This is the calendar. Next month, 8 is May. We have a holy convocation. It's the Feast of Pentecost, the Feast of Weeks. Okay, they're together in one day, and it's a double Sabbath. We have the regular Saturday Sabbath, our holy day, our holy convocation, but then the 50th day is a Sunday. The next day is a holy day. It's a double Sabbath according to the scriptures. The Most High has built his calendar around double Sabbaths. That is the secret of the times. That's what he showed to Moses in Mount Sinai. He showed it to Ezra. He showed Abraham. He showed Noah. Our forefathers knew the secrets of the times, that we had double Sabbaths according to his calendar. So we have the regular Saturday Sabbath, which is a holy day, and the next day, Sunday, is a holy day too. It's double Sabbath. We had that in the Feast of Tabernacles, double Sabbaths. I'll show you. We have it in the Feast of Dedication, 2 double Sabbaths back to back. Feast of Tabernacles back to back. The Feast of Trumpets is a double Sabbath, back to back, Saturday and Sunday. So the Jewish people were not on the correct calendar. They just had the Saturday Sabbath because they know that was our holy day. But the secret of the times give us double Sabbaths, just like the Feast of Weeks. We have double Sabbaths throughout our calendars the whole year, and I'll show you. Okay, so here is May. You see how the calendar is lining up? Just the same, 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. It's double. I mean, we have caught up with Esau's calendar, and we're going to surpass the calendar, and that's going to show we coming into our dominion. Jacob has held on to Esau's heel, and it's going to go from one kingdom to the next without a break. That's the sign that's being shown here with this calendar. Okay, hold on. Let me just continue. So that's May. Okay, April lines up, May lines up. Let's go to the next one. June, it lines up again. And we also have a double Sabbath. The first day is the changing of the seasons. The 4th month is the change of the season, coming into summer. It starts the summer season. This is the change of the season. It's a high holy day for us. It's a double Sabbath. We have the regular Saturday Sabbath, and we have the Sunday. The next day, 1st of June, will be a high holy day, a holy convocation. We keep it as a Sabbath. Double Sabbaths throughout our calendar. And again, look how the calendar is lining up. In June, it lines up again. We got April, we got May, we got June. Now we're going to go down to July. And it lines up again in July, brothers and sisters. This is a sign. The Most High is showing us a sign. This is the secrets of the time. We are coming into our holy days. We're coming into our holy days, brothers and sisters. In August, then it shifts off. This is August, and you can see it shifts off. Now it's 1, 2. So now we're ahead of the Gregorian. We've been behind the Gregorian in numbers all this time. Now we're ahead. Okay? Now here, I'm going to show you September. Just so you can see again, here we have a double Sabbath. If you can see my pointer, that yellow is a double Sabbath. That's the Feast of Trumpets. The memorial of blowing of the trumpets is always on a Sunday. It's always a double Shabbat. Okay? So we have like so many Sabbaths in the month of September. It's the 7th month. It's a very high holy month. You know, the Most High do things according to sevens. So 7th month, we have so many holy days. We have the regular Saturday Sabbath, and then that Sunday is the Feast of Trumpets. It's a double Sabbath. Okay? Then on the 9th day on the 7th month at even, we go into the Day of Atonement. It's always on a Tuesday. It's a set time. It's a double. No, it's no double Sabbath. It's just a Sabbath. It's on a Tuesday every year. Then you go further down, the 14th day of the 7th month at even. It starts the Feast of Tabernacle. And that's a double Sabbath. We have the regular Saturday Sabbath on the 14th. The 15th day starts the Feast of Tabernacle, and we go 8 days. It's not a 7-day feast. It's an 8-day feast. So that following Sunday. Both of those Sundays are double Sabbath. We keep it as a holy day, both days, because in the scriptures in the Leviticus 23, and I think it's like 15, it says the first day is a holy convocation and the last day is a holy convocation, which make it double Shabbats, 2 in a row. So that means during the feast of the 7th month, it's very high holy day. We got 3 double Sabbaths. 3, we have the Feast of Trumpets is a double Sabbath, 2 Sabbaths back to back. Then we have the 15th day of the 7th month, starting the Feast of Tabernacle. The 15th day will always be on a Sunday because how the calendar lines up. You see on the Sabbath, if you can see my pointer, the Sabbath, look at the Saturday Sabbath. You see that 7, 14, 21, 28. This is a sign for us. Every 4 months, the calendar it corrects itself. And you'll see 7, 14, 21, according to sevens, the Sabbaths will fall on the 7, 14, 21. That's a sign. That's the secrets of the times. Every 4th month, it does this. The 1st month, it does it. The 4th month, the 7th month, which is September, and the 10th month, which is in December. The 10th month is December. The 1st month is March, so-called March. That's the 1st month. The 4th month is June. You will see it line up 7, 14, 21 every year, every 4 months, like clockwork. This is the secrets of the time, and this is how you know the double Sabbaths. So when the scriptures go in Leviticus saying the 15th day of the 7th month, it will always be on a Sunday, and that will make it a holy convocation because that's the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, and the last day will be the 22nd of the month, and that is a Sunday as well. It will always be on a Sunday. It will always be a double Sabbath. So this is so important, brothers and sisters, to learn the calendar, the secrets of the times that was given to Moses. Please hear me. Please go into it. I have it on my A Gathering in Jordan page. I'll give you the link that you can go. It's on there. You can study the calendar. And it's on my I Told You Travel and Entertainment. Both of those, I have a whole video, I have the video link giving the secrets of the times. It's called The Secrets of the Times. Go into it, brothers and sisters, because this is how you keep the Lord's statutes and commandments. If you don't know the correct calendar, you will not keep the Lord's statutes and commandments. And I don't know, even if you don't believe it, that don't make it not true. You must know this information. Everything is predicated on the calendar. That's why the Most High sent Moses out and told him, you must feast to me in the wilderness. It was all about the feast days. He wanted to give Moses the secrets of the times, to learn his feast so that we can keep the holy days at the correct time. So don't act like it's not important, brothers and sisters. He's bringing us out again, come out into the wilderness the second time, just like he did with Moses, to teach us the holy days, to learn to feast unto him, to give us the correct calendar. It means everything. The secrets of the times that was given to Moses means everything. It's predicated on our laws, statutes, and commandments. You can't keep the commandments if you don't know the correct holy days. You got to know the first day of the year, and that's what Elder Ricard came out with, the secrets of the times. He gave the information, but then he tried to change, just like the brother said. Let me bring out that video. But here, I just wanted to show you the last part on this calendar. Double Sabbaths all throughout the calendar. The calendar is lining up for the next 4 months. We are in a time where the Most High is revealing his calendar so that we can go back into the wilderness to have a feast unto him, the same way he did Moses. Okay? That's the only reason why he sent Moses out, that we were going to become a nation again, And we needed to know the feast, how to feast unto him. His feasts are attached to the worship. The only way we can worship him is keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. The feast days are attached to the worship. Feasting unto him at the correct time means everything. Christ kept the feast days at the correct time. He is the feast. Christ became the law. He became the feast. That's why he was crucified on the holy day. He was crucified. He became the lamb, the Passover lamb. He died on the cross same day the children of Israel came out of Israel and had to, feast unto the Most High. Christ had to die at that same time. He was the feast. So everything is predicated, around Christ. Predicated around Christ and him dying for us, shedding his blood for us so that we can come back to keep his commandments, his holy days, and his feast days according to the Bible, to the scriptures. So here you see the calendar. This is why this was so important that you learn the calendar and know the secrets of the times. This is the calendar he gave to Moses, and there's a secret to it. It's not only according to the Saturday Sabbath. His holy days are not only according to the Saturday Sabbath. There's double Sabbaths throughout his holy days. We have double Shabbats. So the Jewish people were not on the correct days. They wasn't keeping the right holy days. They only kept the Saturday Sabbath, but it's more than just the Saturday Sabbath. You understand me? So don't be deceived. And that's why Elder Rakai is only talking about Saturday Sabbath. He has been taken down. He couldn't give you the correct days. He gave us how to find the first day of the year, but then he tried to flip it and switch it and try to make everything according to sevens. That's what the Jewish people do. But they're not his people. They keep it according to just the Saturday Sabbath. The Most High has a secret of the times. He has double Sabbaths, double Shabbats, Saturday and Sundays, double feast days, just like the Feast of Weeks. He gave an example through the Feast of Weeks, and that's a very high holy day. The Feast of Weeks, the Pentecost, is a very high holy day. Only 3 days will the men of the Most High have to come to Jerusalem. And that's the Feast of Weeks is one of them, the Passover and the Feast of Tabernacles. And all of those are double Shabbats. So you must know that. They're all the double Shabbats. Because those are it's the first month. That's the fourth month, the 7th, and the 10th month. Well, the Feast of Weeks is on the 3rd month, but it's a double Shabbat. Okay, so y'all need to understand that. Please go to my page and get the information on how to find the first day of the year, which Elder Ricard did the video Secrets of the Times, and also how to put the calendar together so you know how the holy days line up, because Elder Ricard didn't give all the correct information because he's taken down. Okay, he gave most of it, but he didn't give it all because they thought to change times and law, and they thought that the Most High wasn't going to reveal this information, but he did. Praise AHAYAH Yashaya. So hold on, let me just give you my link to my page so that you can find it, brothers and sisters. That calendar is very important. That's the only reason why we are coming out a second time to go into the wilderness, to worship AHAYAH, to feast unto him. Okay? Don't be deceived. That's the only reason why he's bringing us back into this wilderness. He's going to purge us, and he's going to prepare us for his holy days. He's going to prepare us, brothers and sisters. Hold on. A lot of people, they don't want to hear this information. They don't want to know what's going on. But you're going to need, this is the good news that Christ said that he would bring out throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the good news. He's calling his people back. Praise AHAYAH. Let me see. It's not here. Dang, I thought I put it up. Let me go to the other page. Hold on, guys. It's late. It's almost 4 o'clock. It's 4:30 in the morning here. Woo! Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna give you this and then I'm gonna go. Praise AHAYAH Bahasham Yashaya. Let me just give you the link to Secrets of the Time. It's very important. Study that calendar so that you can get the correct information. Okay? You can know when the feast days are. I'm making a mess, guys. Hold on. Hold on, let me go on mute because that's loud. Hold on. Okay, guys, so I put the link in the description box. That link goes to my page, A Gathering in Jordan, which gives you the videos of the secrets of the times, how to find the first day of the year, and how to make your own calendars. You need to know the secrets of the times. 364-day calendar, so that it lines up with the calendar lines up by sevens, by Sabbaths, goes flawlessly into 364 days. This is through the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees. Praise AHAYAH. So when you watch the video, I tell you how to set up your own calendar, how to create your own calendar so that you don't have to be deceived. Because there is deception. Christ warned you in Matthew 24, be not deceived. Don't let nobody deceive you, keeping the wrong holy days. Hold on. This is why we're coming into the wilderness, okay? We're coming in to keep the holy days at the correct time and praise our power and give our blessings unto him. So that's the whole point. That's why he brought Moses out the first time, and this is why he's doing it this time. He had to give us back the correct calendar and his name so that we can worship him in the wilderness. Okay? So basically, I've told you everything that I just really wanted to show you the calendar and see how it's lining up these next 4 months, brothers and sisters. It's lining up directly with the Gregorian. We're going into the time of trouble. We're going into where they're going to cut off the food and water. Get to it within the borders, brothers and sisters. Don't play. Okay? And I basically gave you all the scriptures. Let me take this one. I gave you all the scriptures that I wanted to read and show you. Hold on, guys. That is so loud. Praise the higher. Okay, so I went on mute just to cut out that prayer. Okay, so Matthew 10 and 21, it says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall raise up against their parents, and because them to be put to death. Brothers and sisters, this is the time we're going into. People are deceiving our people. People will cause you up to be afflicted, because if you're not told to get out of Babylon, you will be destroyed there. America is Babylon, okay? And Jordan is the safe place, according to the Bible. Matthew 10 and 22, it says, and ye shall be hated of them, of all men, for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So you're not automatically saved, and that's the scripture, that's the Christian doctrine. So everyone is saved, that you saved. No, the scripture says no one is saved until the very end. You must make it to the end. You must endure to the end and get through this and get out of Babylon and make it. Let me see, it says 10 to 23, but when they persecute you in this city, flee into another, for verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over to the cities of Israel until the Son of Man be come. So we are not to be in Israel right now. Jordan is not Israel, it's on the outskirts of Israel. So we're within the borders of the Most High, but we're on the outskirts of Israel. And this is where the Most High said that he will protect those found within his borders. So don't go to Israel. This is not it, because the Gentile has defiled the land. They take down the land. It's not yet time, but we are to come to Jordan, which is on the outskirts of Israel. Okay. Just like in Ezekiel 38 says, on the sides of Israel. This is not Israel. Jordan is not Israel. It has never been considered Israel. Okay. So don't let nobody lie to you about that. Revelation 12 and 17 says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments. So this is very key, because see, people think just because we're all Israelites, the black people, the 12 tribes of Israel, but the Most High is being specific here and telling you that Satan is at war with the remnant of the seed of Israel, but only those that keep the commandments and the testimony of Yashaya. That's very key, because not all Israel keep the commandments. Not all Israel has the testimony of Yashaya. Now, let me just tell you, like some of these Israelite groups, like IUIC, they say they're Christ. Many come in my name saying Christ, Christ, Christ. They say Christ all the time. They talk about Christ and everything, but they are anti-Christ, because they don't do the water baptism. They don't do the laying on hands and things like that. They don't believe on these things. So actually they anti-Christ. Yeah, they say they're Christ, but they don't believe on Christ as the scriptures say. So that's why that key is very important. It says those that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yashaya. You can't have the testimony of Yashaya if you don't do the water baptism. The water baptism is very significant. It's the only way you can cleanse yourself of your sins. We can't make it into the kingdom. We're not coming to the kingdom if we don't do the water baptism. It's a requirement. First of all, you must be cleansed, made clean and white. Most High is not even trying to look at us unless we repent of our sins that we have committed throughout our generations, through our forefathers as well. So water baptism is very important. So if anybody's talking about the baptism is fire, all that, no, it's antichrist. They don't believe on Christ like the scriptures say. They really don't believe on Christ, but they just use Christ's name, and they use that to deceive people. So you have to have the testimony of Yashaya. You have to have the testimony of Yashaya, and you keep the commandments. And the commandments are predicated on his holy days. You can't keep the commandments if you feasting and sacrificing on the wrong days. There's no way. So that key, Revelations 12 and 17, is very important. That's why they had to take down Elder Vakar. because this brother had the testimony of Christ and he made his way out of Babylon, and they brought him back to Babylon, sat him still, changed the calendar, and they thought that they was going to stop our people from making it into Jordan. But AHAYAH had another plan. Jordan is the safe place, and this is why he sat me here and told me, daughter, to speak and tell the people where to go. Give them the correct calendar. Praise AHAYAH B'Hashem Yashaya. He's so merciful. He loves us, brothers and sisters. I pray you take heed and get out of Babylon and come under the correct law, statutes, and commandments. Call the correct name. AHAYAH AHAYAH is his name. Last scripture, Jeremiah 6:24. It says, we have heard the fame thereof. Our hands wax feeble. Anguish hath taken hold of us, and pain as a woman in travail. There's that woman in travail again. Go not forth into the field, nor walk by the way, for the sword of the enemy and the fear is on every side. O daughter of my people, and gird thee with sackcloth, and wallow thyself in ashes. Make thee mourning as for an only son. Most bitter lamentations, for the spoiler shall suddenly come upon us. And I thought that scripture is very interesting because it's talking directly to the daughters of Zion. O daughter of my people, because a lot of our brothers, unfortunately, are not going to make it because of what I just showed you of how our brothers, and they're listening to other people. They're taking the word of our enemy. A lot of them have taken the side of our enemy. There's a lot of infiltration all through it. Esau has this thing so sewed up that our brothers don't know whether they're coming or going, and they're definitely not coming out of Babylon. So a lot of our men are going to be destroyed. So this scripture here says, O daughter of my people, gird thee with sackcloth and wallow thyself in ashes. Make thee mourning as for an only son. Most bitter lamentation, for the spoiler shall suddenly come upon us. Because a lot of our sisters are sitting in Babylon waiting on the men of the Most High to make a move, and they're not moving. So a lot of daughters, just like the scripture says, there'll be 7-1 in that day. There's a lot of sisters going to have to make the choice to come out on their own. And a lot of sisters are sitting around waiting for their husbands and men to make a move. And they ain't wondering why they ain't moving, But this is why, because a lot of them refuse because of wickedness, of sin. They refuse to, go back to these scriptures wholeheartedly. They're not listening to the Most High. And because of their wickedness and sin, they will be destroyed in Babylon. And a lot of our sisters are going to have to just pick up and come out and get their children out of harm's way. And it is what it is. So I wanted to leave that scripture for food for thought because, a lot of the daughters of Zion are trying to be obedient and stick by their husband and stick by their men. And, and rightfully in the perfect situation, that's what we're supposed to do. But because this is Jacob's trouble, and our brothers will be destroyed if they don't come out of Babylon. And a lot of them have passports. A lot of them have dealing with a lot of stuff because they are under attack. They're not coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments like they're supposed to. They refuse to obey AHAYAH and come back to these scriptures like the Most High said, come back to them. So I give all honor, glory, and praise to AHAYAH, AHAYAH, B'Hashem Yashaya, Wakodaksha. I pray you receive these scriptures with love and kindness. I'm not attacking my brothers. I love the men of the Most High, and I'm praying for them. I pray our brothers get out of there and get out of harm's way, get to Jordan, get to the safe place, and start to build and stand in the name of Yashaya, AHAYAH, B'Hashem Yashaya. I'll leave you with that. The link is the Secrets of the Times, how to make your own calendar. You can also go to my blog showing KADESH. You got to know that Jordan is the safe place. I'll give you the information on where to read it, get the scriptures, all the scriptures you need to know that Jordan is a safe place, because this mystery has been hidden from us. And a lot of the other nations, they know this, but our people don't know it because we were under the curses and it was hidden information. But the Most High now is revealing it, and He's calling the children of Israel out of Babylon and into the borders. Okay, so here's this link. I give all glory, honor, and praise to AHAYAH, AHAYAH. His name is AHAYAH, and his son's name is Yashaya. And he's calling the children of Israel out, and Jordan is the safe place. This is where we will be again. He called Moses out to keep the Lord's statutes and commandments, to sacrifice unto him into the wilderness, and he's calling us out to sacrifice unto him in the wilderness again. So you got to know the correct holy days if you're going to sacrifice unto him. Okay? Praise the higher. So I'm going to say Shalom, Israel. Bless the name of AHAYAH. Have a blessed Shabbat and week, coming week. And I'm going to leave you guys with a little music. And wait, hold on. Let's see what I'm going to play. Definitely something fitting. Come out of Babylon, y'all. Get out, get out, get out. Do 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 do. Oh, here I got this one. I'm gonna do this one. Praise the higher. Shalom.
Shalom. Okay, I'm having a little fun here, so just bear with me. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now, when I say New York, I mean the whole United States. Okay, Babylon. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I left Brooklyn, now I'm in the Middle East, close to the desert. Here I feel the heat, but I'm not sweating it, 'cause I saved my soul. Should Babylon affect me? I built a stronghold. Babylon is falling, it's on the downward road. America is finished, they're trying to take you with it. The motto for my people is about to get deep, and if you don't listen, you're gonna feel the heat. Israel, come out of her. Israel, come out of her. Israel,
Let the 12 tribes gather together. You know that something's about to go down. I can feel it. The higher coming, blowing the trumpet. So gather up well. Yeah. Let's go, yeah. When the higher brings down destruction, that's right. He always lets some Hebrews escape. Wanna be one, y'all. Israel, get yourself together before it's too late. He told Noah what to build it up, and Joseph prepared for the famine. Yes, he did. He told Lot to run, and Moses, you better put blood on the door. So I'm telling you now, it's gonna rain. That's right. It's gonna rain. Ooh, it's gonna rain. Brimstone and fire, y'all. It's gonna rain. It's coming. You ready? It's gonna rain. Brimstone and fire. Come on. Let the 12 tribes gather together. It's the car where you at? You know that something's about to go down. AHAYAH's coming, blowing the trumpet. So gather around. He told Noah to build it up, and Joseph prepared for the famine. Yes, he did. He told Lot to run, and Moses, you better put blood on the door. So I'm telling you now, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Get yourself together. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Come on. Check this out. Listen. As in the days of Noah, so shall the Son of Man be. It's gonna rain. As in the days of Noah, so shall the Son of Man be. It's gonna rain. As in the days of Noah, so shall the Son of Man be. Yashaya promise. As in the days of Noah, so shall the Son of Man be. Yashaya promise. Come on. Y'all know what it is. Babylon is finished. Come on. We're gonna be praising the higher. Over in joy. Jordan is the place. Come on. Let's go. You ready? Come on. It's going down. It's gonna get out of Babylon. Let's go. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Jordan is the place. We're gonna praise the for his deliverance. Yeah.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. He opened up my eyes to the truth. Now I see everything I thought I knew now has a meaning. Praying he finds me worthy. This truth has set me free. Ooh, maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I've had some direction. It would sure be nice to be back home where there's love and perfection. And just maybe I can get to see Yashaya show up, giving me a chance to clean up my life and grow up. It's cleansing me of my sins. Oh, please let me start again. Suddenly my world's gone and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. This truth has had my mind spun around in space, 'cause the Most High, He's all knowing. Oh, if you're listening higher, please don't make it hard, and tell them they should believe the things they read. Tell them they should run away, they shouldn't try and stay, 'cause it will be better in your kingdom to be